And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing? Welcome to the OP Poker channel. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the first ever PokerStars Power Up Championship. I am your host, OP Poker Nick from the OP Poker team, and joining with me today in the studio is Chris Straghalis, Director of Poker Product at PokerStars, aka PokerStars Strag on Twitch, aka you can leave your hat on, Chris. He brought the hat. He left it on. He left it on. But our community, of course, knows him simply as Strag. So if you've seen Strag floating around in Discord or whatever, this is the face. This is the face to the name.
Face for radio.
Welcome, Strag. How are you today?
I'm very good, Nick. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. I'm so excited. I don't know if you guys can tell. This is genuine excitement. This has been a long time coming for me, and I am super pumped to get things kicked off today. So what's on the agenda for our stream here today, guys? I've written up a very short little agenda here. Number one, I have a couple things that I need to announce before we do anything else. Even before me and Strag have a discussion, there's three things that I need to get out to you guys before we can even continue with discussing what's going on and talking about players and talking about what's to come. And then, of course, around 6:30, we are going to kick off the semis. So that's 6:30 GMT, just for those of you that don't know. And then once the semis have completed, we will be doing the finals. Once we have our three finalists, they will combine into a single table, and then we will crown our first ever Power Up Champion. So, guys, what are the announcements that I need to do first? Let me get those off my chest to begin with. First of all, for those of you that haven't been following along, I need to show you what the structure of today's semis will look like. So I have a little visual aid I would like to show you now. If you take a look at this graphic, this should indicate the people that are going to be taking part in today's semis. So we have 9 finalists, and they are grouped into Group A, Group B, Group C. The positions that you see them here on this table were randomized. We did a marble run on yesterday's stream, which basically slotted them into their categories. And the way this is going to work is, guys, each of these groups are not only groups, but they are also tables. So the 3 players that you see in each group will be sat on a table, and they will play a sequence of games. And the first player to get 3 wins next to their name will go through to the final 3. At which points we will play a single game. There will be a single power-up match of the final 3 to go through from Group A, Group B, and Group C, and that is how we will crown our power-up championship. Our power-up champion today. First place getting $3,000, second place getting $1,000, and third place getting $1,000. But we have more to announce as well, ladies and gentlemen. There is something that you need to know, and also our champions are about to find out. There is a new power. As of right now, there is a new power that has just been released. Let me introduce you to Syphon. So as you can see there on the screen, guys, it is a 1-cost card called Syphon, and it reads, steal up to 3 energy from an opponent. So let me explain how this works, guys. Basically, you play the power like any other. You select the opponent that you'd like to steal the powers from, and you will steal up to 3 from them. Why is it up to 3? The reason being that you can't steal more energy than your opponent has. So if your opponent has 3 energy or more, you will take 3. If they have 2, you will take 2. If they have 1, you will take 1. Seems pretty straightforward. And just to clarify here, guys, none of our finalists have seen or played this card before, so it will be a true test of skill to see who adapts the fastest. Not only that, but after the championships, and I mean directly after the championships have finished, this power will also be live globally. So if you play Power Up on your PokerStars client, you will have access to Syphon basically immediately. And that should be exciting for those of you that play Power Up. I know I'm excited to get my hands on it as well. But wait, there is even more, guys. Let's switch back to this camera. For those of you that don't know, we have been announcing this on Discord, etc. We also are proud to announce that any money that OP Poker James wins today, because in case you didn't spot on the previous screen, he will be taking part in today's semis. He will be giving that back in some kind of a giveaway back to our community that we've been building over the course of this year. So if James gets first, second, or third, any money that he wins is going to go back to you guys in some way, shape, or form. As I said, we don't actually know how we're going to be doing that giveaway just yet. But if you'd like to find out how, make sure you're a member of our community. Make sure you check out the Discord. Make sure you check out the social media, etc. And of course, if you're not rooting for anybody in particular, you can root for James, because that means you guys will get a little kickback there as well. All right, so those are the 3 big announcements. Oops, excuse me. I guess to kick off the stream, then I wanted to pose some questions to you, Strag.
Sure.
All right, so first question I have up here is, could you please explain very briefly to our audience your involvement with PokerStars, but more importantly, your involvement with Power Up?
Sure. Well, I've been with PokerStars for a very long time. Actually, it'll be 15 years come April 1st, and yeah, April Fool's Day. and I've done a lot of different things with the company.
Yep.
But what I've done most recently is as you said, director of poker product. What does that mean? That means basically myself and the members of my team, we're responsible for all of the new stuff that players see in the client, particularly around poker. So all of those new game variants that we've been introducing, including 6+ Hold'em, Fusion, Showtime, those were all done within my team. We write the requirements. We work with the development team to make sure they actually write the code. And of course, we've had probably one of the most fun projects we worked on was Power Up. And my involvement with Power Up was kind of sporadic to begin with. I was part of the original playtest team. So when we had a couple guys in the company that came up with the concept kind of almost simultaneously, the idea of using powers to enhance poker and combining elements of, say, Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone and poker together. And it was something we thought really, really went well together, the strategic aspects. And initially we were doing play testing with actually just literally writing powers down on pieces of paper and trying different costing methodologies. I was involved a lot in the play testing of that. I'm an old Magic the Gathering player. I've been playing Magic
as we know.
For a very long time, and so I was really, really interested in it. It was then being worked on by a different team, so I really wasn't that involved. While a lot of the sandbox stuff that we were doing and playtesting that we were doing a lot of the original game balancing that was done by a separate group.
Right.
And then only as we got close to actually releasing the game itself, I got back involved, and it was more, again, working very, very closely with the team that was involved. People like Neil and Marcos that the community know quite well. And those guys kind of, we all worked together. And it's a really, really fun product to work on because you had to do so much thinking about not just what you're doing right now, but thinking about the future and like, how is this power going to impact other powers we want to introduce later on? And how do you word things? Like even we would spend hours agonizing on the exact right way to word something or how we wrote things in the hand histories. You might find it a bit mind-boggling how much time and effort we put into that kind of stuff.
So one of the things that we spoke about was one of the rules that you had for the powers was that you had to be simple to explain, right? So when you guys are reading what you see on the card there, one of the rules was like we were talking about some like really wild powers, and we're like, yeah, it'll do this, but then it won't do this in this situation. And one of the rules was that it actually has to be like a single sentence or something that you can explain in a single sentence.
Yeah, right? and we actually struggle with that because you have certain powers like disintegrate, which are very specific, right? You can only disintegrate, and one of the things that when we first rolled out Power Up, right, we didn't have deploy, so and deploy was it deploys another card onto that street, and so we had to take into account, okay, well, we have to make sure that when later on we deploy that we make sure we take into account the wording of disintegrate to take into account exactly that it means that a card that was played the street as opposed to saying specifically flop, turn, river. Right. So yeah, it was that kind of stuff I'm talking about. We had to think about.
Yeah. So you're not only future proofing the game and the game elements, you're also future proofing the language that you use. Yeah. Because of course, guys, if you play deploy, you can have up to 7 theoretical streets, well, plus pre-flop as well, I guess. So you can only be played twice in a hand.
That was the thing, because you now have pre-flop as a street, so you can deploy and disintegrate, and that happens pre-flop. Well, we didn't want to give that away, so we had to word it in such a way, and then we had to also take into account that there were things like going all in protecting the board and how do you reflect that and
right. Well, so I remember a conversation that we had once about applying the red overlay to indicate what had been locked and why that would be so critical. Not only because it's important that the lock mechanism actually works, because you said without that it's pretty much chaos, especially if disintegrate can still come into play. But then you were saying the red overlay was super important because it's really important that you know at what point it was locked.
Exactly, because of deploy.
Yeah, exactly, right. So if it had been deployed, pre-flop is pretty much always safe anyway. But then it's not, well, you can deploy pre-flop and it can be disintegrated anyway, right?
Exactly.
So knowing when it was deployed and then exactly that. That's really fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of new powers, that leads me on very, very nicely onto my next question. How do you think that the new card, a new card, like Syphon, will change the Power Up metagame?
So we actually particularly picked Syphon because we feel it's particularly skill testing, and I think it's actually a very, very interesting power for that reason, because one of the things we've noticed is that and it's been really interesting for us, because although we had a group of players that were playtesting in the early days, we still knew that once it got out into the wild, you're going to have this massive crowdsourcing going on of people thinking about the game and thinking about the game in ways that we didn't really anticipate.
Right.
And one of the things that became very clear very early on was that the amount of energy your opponent has becomes a tell, right?
Yep.
You know what combinations of powers.
Yeah.
And now that we introduce Syphon, that just throws the whole thing completely on its ear.
So like, and energy was one of the things that you could almost always assume that you would have at a constant rate.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden you have to take into account the fact that that can be readjusted by your opponents. This is interesting because I remember having a conversation when we first met about, you were talking about how you had never considered using scanner as a way to deny your opponent the opportunity in order to improve their hand.
Right.
So when me and James first started out, we were using a scanner in hands like, well, any of the precog powers to try and offer cards that would not improve our opponent's hands, especially if they had energy to play. So I think we might have ended up calling it range removal was the term that we actually coined for something like that, right? We need to turn the mic up, sure. Sorry guys, we're just all adjusting here still. Test. That should be better now. Let me know if that volume is better. And I feel like Syphon is actually a similar mechanic because for the most part, people will see it at face value. I want more energy, I'm going to take it from my opponent. But high-level players will use it to deny their opponent the ability to actually play specific combinations.
Exactly.
And oh man, I mean, the implications for that are just nuts.
Exactly. It's mind-boggling, really. And now, so I really feel like it's going to change the meta quite dramatically. And on top of that, I think the other thing is when you think about it, you're gonna have Syphon wars, right?
Yep.
People siphoning each other back and forth, which I think is just super cool. And even just the strategy of like, okay, so you can, as you said, you can use Syphon as a way that I need energy. So you can at the same time you're going to think about you're denying energy from your opponent as well. So you can choose which opponent you want to deny. And I think that just that level of using energy as a resource now as an attackable resource. Super cool.
I mean, and also guys, think about the sabotage possibilities. We all love sabotage, and sabotage will become so much cheaper to do in this game as well. So if you know that your opponent is already in kind of a sticky situation and they're like at 6 energy and they're about to have 8, now 8 becomes kind of playable because now we can combine engineer with hands like deploy, or something deploy, excuse me. And now you're like, cool, now I can even deny that combination. That's so easy. So you can, it's going to be amazing.
But then they can Syphon back, and then they've got the combo back again.
But it also makes cards like Clone really interesting again.
Clone is going to. I know a lot of people don't like Clone. I happen to love Clone.
Exactly. Well, I mean, so up until now, Clone is something that we always try and cycle because it pretty much doesn't unless you have absolutely 15 energy. Sometimes there's some cool stuff you can do when you have that much. For the most part, you never have 15 energy. But now the fewer low cost cards that we have, the faster, like the more interesting it becomes because it can go bang 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 bang, and it won't cost you 15 energy to make the combo pulled off.
And by the way, one of the things I wanted to clarify since you brought up 15 energy, we already talked about the fact that you can't steal more energy than your opponent has. You also can't go over the cap. So 15 is still the cap, right? So you would still take 3 from your opponent in that case. So if you have 15, you play Syphon. You would still take 3 from your opponent, but you would go still cap out at 15.
That's an excellent note. And guys, I literally just got the final wording for the card and all of the different things as well today. So in case you can't tell, that's great. Can you make custom power? Can you make a custom power for me called Untorch? Absolutely, Pie Face Poker. Last Gambit has actually reared his head. By the way, Last Gambit is art.
Yes,
pretty much.
Yes, and I can see from that comment.
It is
the one man to ever play 3 EMPs in a single hand, which was truly impressive. I posted the hand history on the op.poker Discord, I think a couple weeks ago. It's a truly amazing effort and accomplishment. No, there's no prize right now for playing 3 Syphons in a single hand. I think it's going to be quite easy to use to do that. But I am really interested. By the way, a little fun fact about Syphon: it wasn't originally called Syphon. It was originally called Drain. And the one thing I kind of fought against it. I'm quite a big believer in I love words, and I want words that really mean what they say. And the thing about Drain is Drain didn't really tell you. Drain makes it sound like I'm only taking energy away, right? And Syphon really tells you it's going from you to me. So we had a little bit of an argument internally about that. I got to win.
A heated discussion, not an
one
argument.
of the things I get to win sometimes. And,
if I'm not mistaken, I think Drain was one of the cards, or at least maybe one of the sound effects that we originally data mined. And
okay.
I think if somebody can correct me in the chat though, because I'm pretty sure when we originally were trying to figure out what the next were going to be, we had the card backs or the card fronts, I should say, without the wording.
Yes.
And then we also had the sound effects, and I think drain was one of those cards. It was mana drain.
Yes,
there you go.
That was it. That's what it was called
Yep.
at one point. And of course, we changed from mana to energy.
Yep.
And then it was just going to be called drain. And,
it took me so long as well because on stream, guys, I was always making reference to energy as points, and he would always come in the chat and he'd always tell me, it's energy not points. I've been.
It's also not power. It's not cards. It's powers.
It's powers. I know. Like, and every time I'm on stream, I actually stumble over my words because I'm like, Strag wouldn't like that. I'm gonna try and make that adjustment.
I'm glad to hear that.
All right. So my next question. This is kind of a loaded question because I feel pretty strongly about this. But do you think the ability to adapt to brand new power cards like Syphon is a skill that power up players should have?
I do, and I think that's one of the reasons why we wanted to have a really skill testing power.
Yep.
And we had a few other powers we could have done, but I thought this was really the one that was going to be the strongest in terms of that. And I think that the group of players that we have, they've proven themselves to be very skillful.
Yeah.
And some of anybody who's watched James's stream, anybody who's watched Maya's streams, these players are thinking about power up on a very high level.
Absolutely.
And I do think that these are the players that are gonna adjust the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a great way to kind of showcase it to the community as a whole, because like I said, I do think it's quite a skill testing power, and I do think that seeing the best players and how they use it is going to help the whole community to figure out how to use it, because it is definitely going to twist the metagame.
Yeah,
there's no question.
And this is why I feel like it's a loaded question, because I feel like it's like any other game. The players that take in new information and think about it in a special way, or in a way that makes it more. So, for example, in Hearthstone, the best players in the world are the ones that create the first decks.
Yes.
And only the people that can adapt the fastest can make the best decks that fast. And it challenges your fundamentals. And this is something that I try and say about Power Up, especially to people who don't like Power Up. They go, what's the point there? I don't see and I go, well, first of all, it's a game and it's just fun, and that's one thing.
Yeah.
But also, it's a game that challenges your poker fundamentals at such a critical level. For example, I never thought that I would ever need to know how to calculate equity on a 7-card board. But all of a sudden, and actually, maybe that isn't particularly helpful when we play games like Texas Hold'em. But knowing how, or at least going through the process of knowing how, I mean, if you can calculate on a 7-card board, you absolutely can do it on a 5-card board.
It should definitely help your base poker game, right? You're thinking about the game in different ways, and I think anytime you're doing that, that's just always going to help you in all of the different kinds of games you play and all the different poker games.
Exactly. And it's just, it's like any game, and not just Power Up. And this was kind of part of my message as well. Is like, why do you play those weird games on PokerStars? Because anything that challenges you to think a little bit outside your box. I mean, when I learned how to play PLO, I realized how powerful a Texas Hold'em C-bet was, because I'm going, oh my God, I'm missing boards playing PLO. Can you imagine how often people are missing boards when they're playing Texas Hold'em? And all of a sudden, I'm like, you can really afford to be as aggressive as people are suggesting. And that was,
that's when I was first learning how to play heads up. Somebody once told me, he said, it's really hard to make a pair.
Right.
And so when you have a pair heads up, bet the hell out of it. And that was a revelation to me.
Exactly.
I always thought, well, I got bottom pair. Is that really good? It's like, heads up, bottom pair is awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, there are loads of situations now that we've been playing a lot more spin and goes as well, where you have these situations where I'm making king high calls based on cap ranges. And I'm going, they're like, oh, how would you ever even begin? I'm going, you guys don't even understand. It's really hard to have a pair. Like, it's really not. And on this kind of a run out, he either has like.
Unless you're playing Power Up.
Well, if you're playing Power Up, you have to adjust again.
Yes. Hands are going to be strong. Right?
One of the funniest things that I hear from people is like, I've just started playing Power Up and I absolutely love it. I'm really enjoying it. And then they go, the only problem is when I go back to play regular Texas Hold'em, I get to a flop and I go, I really hope they don't disintegrate.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I've done that.
You get stuck in your disintegrate mindset.
Or you go like, I could really use an upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. You get to the river and you go, if I just had one more street.
I just had X-ray right now.
I could just
one
deploy.
of his cards.
Exactly. I love that. That's so awesome. All right, we've got a couple from James now as well. I'm just going to check the time. 11 minutes and 14 seconds until kickoff. I think we're good. Could you imagine Power Up? Excuse me. Could you imagine the Power Up Championships of the future being held live in a similar way to the way that they hold Hearthstone? For example, stadium seating and then isolation booths.
I think we actually had a vision for that at one point. And in fact, when we actually looked at pods and kind of that exact environment.
Yeah.
I think the challenge you always have in combining live and online is getting everybody in one place. right? And making sure everybody can travel.
Right.
That's always the challenge.
Logistically, it's challenging. And for example, for a PSP, PSPC, for a PSPC, I mean, that's a logistical titan just to get people in the same room for that, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
So I think, you know, I'd love to see it happen, and we've talked about doing it at some of our live events even, and having it as like a ancillary thing. But you know, let's walk before we run, right?
Oh well, yeah, okay. We have to ask for the people. We know that Power Up can be played with more powers. Do you think it could be played with less powers than the original 9?
I do. I don't think it would be as fun. I think it really caps the metagame. We looked when we actually designed more than 20 powers originally, and we actually have a sandbox that we can play with all the powers. It's not graphically pretty. It's a sandbox, but all the powers were playable. And we realized that was way too much. And we asked the team that was working on it at the time, which was a bunch of professional poker players and gamers and so on. And they pretty much said, look, because we wanted something, we knew that it was going to be a big learning curve for people. And there is a learning curve to Power Up. There's no doubt about that. And we thought, okay, well, what's the right amount? And we worked, and really 9 became the optimal amount. Especially once we decided, and that was one of the reasons why we decided that you couldn't get a duplicate power. Because I think that's really super important as well to the idea that you want a variety of powers, and you know, getting the other thing is obviously you get stuck with powers, right? You talk about cycling, cycling clone, cycling EMP was the thing at the very beginning, right? You remember
Back
that?
in the day,
everybody hated EMP. Get rid of it.
It's an embarrassing memory, but yeah.
And yeah, so I think 9 was the optimal introduction. We are at 10 right now. We're soon to be at 11. That's exciting. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I think that's one of the things. And certainly, you know, we're going to open up on the OP Poker Discord after the championships, right? We're going to have a feedback channel. I'm very interested on 2 points to hear from people. One is, do you think we should get rid of a power when we introduce Syphon? We're not going to initially, but certainly willing to hear from the community.
Okay, you hearing that, guys? You listening? You taking notes out there?
And second thing is, you know, do we have the costing right? Because this is a tough one. It's a tough one, and we debated quite a lot. And at one point it was a 0 cost, and another point it was an equal cost. So it cost 3, and you got 3, and that becomes more of a denial card.
Right.
You're not gaining. You're not gaining anything. So I really think I like the 1 and 3 balance. I think that's a good balance. But you guys tell us. You let us know, and we might play with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So as Strike just said, we are going to be opening up a feedback channel specifically on our Discord. But feel free to reach out to us on social media as well, and we'll definitely get your voice heard. And this is super important, guys, because Power Up is still very, very young, and we still need to have this kind of feedback and have these discussions in order to move forward and to try and make the game better. And more balanced, and you know, everything that is required for any game. You know, the community, you guys are super important, so make sure you get your voice heard over there. Do you think, in the event that we were to play with less powers, in a theory, you know, like you said, you think 9 is probably a good place to be. Do you think there were any core powers that are just absolutely like key to making Power Up playable?
I mean, I think there's powers that are like the most fun powers, and like my favorite power is Upgrade. I always thought like Upgrade is a power. It's never a bad power, right? Because you can play it blind. You know, like Reload is a power you don't unless you're Art, you know, and Reload 2 is OP, but other than that, you're kind of stuck. Right?
And it appeals to the original poker player in all of us that we're just I just wish I could just have one more, especially people that grew up playing Texas Hold'em and not other formats.
It was actually one of the few powers I think I felt I had a hand in. We had an ideation session, and I said basically let's have a power that's Crazy Pineapple. Which and for those of you who haven't played Crazy Pineapple, is you get dealt 3 cards, and on the flop you discard them. And so the idea was that you draw a card and discard a card, and I think we called it Filter originally or something like that. But Upgrade I think is a much better.
I think so too. Yeah, no, I like that word.
But anyway, so I think that's it's got a little place in my heart. I really like Upgrade. And,
all right.
That would be one to me that I think it just brings up the fun in the game.
All right.
I don't know. Is there anything else? I just really like to play.
Well, so like
I love to play.
Hearing that question out loud as well, I suppose Disintegrate is another one of those cards that I feel like is just so like visceral. And even though Disintegrate, I guess in the current meta it's not a particular, for the most part, people discard it, and then late game it can become a little bit more helpful. But I feel like discard is another card that it wouldn't be required to make the game playable necessarily. That might be the bad choice of words, but it is a power that again appeals to like, you know, it appeals to players, right? Like it appeals to people who like hate when the flush comes in.
But the fact that it's in the meta, you have to play around it, right? So it's actually more interesting for the fact that you have to play around it,
exactly,
than the fact that it actually gets played,
right? And
because the idea is otherwise you could there's times where you're forced to lock the board, because you have to protect against Disintegrate.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, this and this is what you were talking about. You know, not having duplicates is important because it allows you guys to manipulate the game in a way that forces people to play around cards, which actually stops you from always making the combo that you need every time.
Yes.
And if you always had the combo, then it would just be a win button or whatever, and then that would be the end of that.
And I've talked before about we shouldn't have I win powers.
Right. Exactly.
Getting close, right?
We're getting close. We're getting close. I think just really quickly, I'm gonna ask you to take a look at our leaderboard really quickly, and I'm gonna ask you who do you think is the favorite from each group? Let me open up the final tables here. So who do you think in each? And I know also, guys, Strag brought in a couple really interesting stats here that we're going to have to breeze over quickly because we've.
I'll bring them up later on as well. So I brought a lot of fun stats that I think people are going to enjoy hearing.
Perfect.
Group A, it's hard for me to pick a favorite. I mean, obviously, you have the 13 Victor who topped the leaderboard for the Masters, which is really an accomplishment, right?
Really.
Because that's a hard, the biggest group.
In many ways, I think that might be harder.
Right, and so you have to give a tremendous amount of credit there. But then, of course, you have the sentimental favorite in James, and obviously, the fact that he's already announced that any money he wins, he'll donate back to the community.
Yep.
If I had to pick a tough group, actually, Group A would be my tough.
Okay.
My tough group.
Yeah, the group of death is what we were.
And Lorray, the one player who didn't play all 40 games, right? How much confidence do you need to have there, right? So yeah, I mean it's really tough. But if I have to pick one there, I go with James, just because of giving back to the community.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Group B, a little bit different. I think Adester is probably my favorite out of that group, only because he played well in both the Masters and the Grandmasters.
Right.
And here's another fun fact. If you combined of all the players who played both Masters and Grandmasters, he had the most points.
Yeah, the most points
of all the players.
That's really interesting.
So in that case, I gotta go with Adester.
Right.
In that case, I think that's kind of a no-brainer for me.
Okay.
And then Group C. Well, another tough group. They're all tough groups, and I said this on Discord.
Yeah. They're
all really, really tough groups. There's no dead weight here. Everybody's earned their place in. But I gotta say, I think I got a soft spot in my heart for Moon Cactus.
Yep.
Really, she's taught me more about the game. I'm sorry to say it, Nick, more than you have, but it's a true story. True story, bro.
Yeah.
I can't help it. She thinks about on the game at a different level.
Yep.
I think.
I agree. I agree.
And I think it's a tough group.
Yep.
But I do think she has to be.
I hear you. I think for Group C, Moon Cactus has my money as well. And also, I would agree. I think Moon Cactus is definitely a superior player to me. Absolutely. We're coming up down to 2 minutes now. 2 minutes and 17 seconds before the theoretical kickoff, if everything goes smoothly, guys. So we're going to do a little bit of a transition now. I'm going to move you into our Table 1 Championship overlay here. This is what it's going to look like while we're watching these games. I think, okay, yeah, we're still fitting in there nicely. It's looking good.
That looks good.
So what you can see, we've stripped away all of our OP Poker branding, guys, because this is the championship. And down here, excuse me, on my setup, I've actually got it mirrored. So when I point to the screen, it goes down here. We are going to be watching the games, and I'm going to be switching between. There are going to be 3 tables, as I said. Why am I looking over here again? There's going to be 3 tables, like I said. I'm used to having my camera there too. And what we're going to do is directly beneath us, we're going to be keeping a track of who won in each game. So you guys will be able to follow along live. So if you were following along from earlier on, the way that's going to work is these 3 players at each table are going to go face off against each other again and again and again. And every time one of these players wins, we are going to add another point to next to their name. And then as soon as that player gets to 3 points, the first player to get 3 points on each table is going to go through to the final. So I think what I'm going to try and do is open PokerStars here without exposing all my data. And I'm going to try and find JLH Mac and see if we're close. I think we still have a couple minutes left.
We do. Let me see. So it is a little bit of a tricky one logistically to do this.
No, that's okay.
So,
well, we've also got chat open here, so we can take a look at chat and we can start firing the searches when we.
So basically, we're kind of creating a private version of Power Up that only these players have unique tickets to. That so Poker Bros was asking how are we managing it? Magic, right? It's magic.
Magic.
And PokerStars magic.
Magic's
the best kind of magic.
Energy.
And energy and powers, and so it's going to be a little bit tricky to get, and we can't really kind of force players into the game. So this is what's going to happen. We're gonna fire up right at 6:30.
Yep.
The individual power ups will start.
Yep.
And all the players will then use they all have special tickets. They will join with the special tickets. By the way, big shout out to Eva for the Murray Horsebark emote, and I'm glad to see it being spammed in the chat. Thanks, guys. She put that in there for me.
Yep.
I should say, by the way, that if anybody's using the Murray Horsebark avatar as part of the championships, I'm going to automatically have to shift my allegiance to that player. It only makes sense, right? I have to do it. I have to do it.
Also, PokerStars, thank you very much for the raid. We now have we are now being broadcast on the official PokerStars channel. That's
more magic.
That's more magic. More PokerStars magic. Psychasm, how you doing? Welcome.
Okay, so let me see. We should be going live. Hopefully now.
Okay, we're just going to keep searching for James, and then we're going to fire up our other tables as well. So, guys, we are going to be watching as observers. So we're not going to be able to see cards. We're not going to be able to see powers either, of course, because that's fair is fair is fair. But we should be able to follow along with the action. I'm going to try and jump between the games as best I can to try and follow the action. At this stage, I think what's important is to try and capture a couple of the big hands, and also just to keep track of the current wins, because the current wins down here. Because really, we all came to see that championship, but hopefully we can see a little bit.
Can we make that a shot game? Every time you point to the wrong side of the monitor, everybody has to do a shot.
Right? Okay, yeah. Well,
I mean, they all have to do a shot, not us.
I was gonna. Well, absolutely.
That would be irresponsible. So the games are now live. I've got confirmation from PokerStars headquarters that the tournaments are now live.
Okay.
They won't show up obviously until all three players have actually joined. So we do know that the players are all online.
All right. Polad, thank you for the follow. Okay, I think so.
Have we thought of PLO Power Up? How insane do you want the game to be? It's just like, it's going to be. I think that would be quite challenging. At the same time, quite interesting.
Did you see Ava did the new follow GIF? It's got.
I did see that. I did see that again. I mean, what can we say? That was awesome, right?
Of course. Can we get Command Ava in here, please?
Somebody do a Command Ava.
Command Ava. All right, there you go.
There it is.
Ava is an amazing and invaluable member. Invaluable, as in how unbelievable value.
So there's a chance. There's a chance for there's no chance. That's Power Up Omaha is not going to happen.
James, I know that you're watching. Could you try and join a table for me, mate? Hemp Dog, thank you for the follow.
Do you want to check some of the other players and see if they've started yet?
Yeah, let's take a gander. 287 viewers right now. Okay, so let's take a look. Who are the other searches?
Do apologize, guys. We knew this was going to be just a little bit clunky. Do bear with us. It is going to happen. I promise you that.
Okay, he's not on either.
All right.
I spelled that right? Okay, and
yes. This one should come up.
Yep.
Yes, there we go.
Group C, here we go. We're opening up Group C right now.
We have a game.
We have our first game running here, top left. Good luck to the players in Group C. All right, you guys should be able to see fine there. That was good.
Oh, it looks like Maya's already lost some chips.
Oh,
what happened?
How much did we miss? Something went quick.
Oh wow!
I wish we could just do.
If you do the drop down, it should show up again. Right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, maybe only once you find them it does.
Oh, okay, cool.
You should know this, right?
I'm going to do another search for I love your mom. Also, I think Seb's.
Oh, there's Syphon.
Oh, there's Syphon.
Syphon
Did you guys see it coming out?
Love that animation. By the way.
It is fun. It's a really good one.
It is such a cool animation.
I think it's probably on par with Deploy. Deploy is another fantastic
Deploy.
one.
Deploy. I think the combination of the sound and the animation with Deploy is what I really like. But honestly, the sound with Syphon is super cool.
Yeah. In fact, speaking of which, if I actually focus on the table, you might be able to catch some of those sounds now, guys. Sorry if you're missing those. This is a little bit of a clunky setup. I would have preferred to have something a little bit more streamlined for you guys, but needs must. All right, J7 and Hated, which Strag actually helped me work out. He goes, yeah, you know, in Group C there's Hated, and Hated, who's? And I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I was calling him H8T3D, but I see the error of my ways now.
Well, maybe you're right. I'm the one that's reading into it.
He's gonna contact us and say, hey, my name is not Hated.
By the way, the delay command is incorrect. There's no delay. It says 3 minutes. But
apologies, guys. Yep, we haven't taken that off. It is no delay here, guys. We're watching in real time. So what you see is happening live on PokerStars. Lucas, yes, there are new powers. Today we released Syphon. It is a 1-cost power which allows you to steal energy from your opponents. Maya's the first to get robbed. Anuj took a clip for us here. Maybe I'll open that up and we'll.
That's the first ever Syphon, right?
It could be. Oh, gotta pause that. There you go. We keep it off mute, but we'll play it in a second if we have to fill some time. Sorry guys. There's no sound because I'm still trying to search to see if the next tables are going to come up yet. I think they're going to try and stagger them, which is why we haven't seen any yet. Okay. Seb or James, if you could just indicate when you actually are getting on a table, that'd be super helpful.
No, Seb doesn't know what to do.
Oh.
Do I just wait until the game starts automatically, or do I?
No, he has to join with his ticket.
So if he goes into the lobby, he'll be able to see a table that no one else can, and he uses his ticket to join it. It should be automatic with the ticket, right?
That's correct.
Just join, and then it'll ask you to use the ticket.
No, you should, Sebastian. You should go to your ticket and click on the ticket, and it should take you to join the right event.
I'm playing randos when I register. Okay, so Seb,
you're not supposed to be playing a real money one.
Seb is now going to multi-table while he's playing the championships. Great.
He's gonna win both playing.
Glory man, how you doing? Welcome.
So we got a decent sized pot over here. We have Maya's time banking. Sorry, Moon Cactus, I should say, and makes the call. Oh.
Ooh. Maya taking a hit. That was he had it on the turn, didn't he? Oh, actually no, he didn't because the flop was disintegrated. Sorry if I'm not following the action too much. If you could keep an eye on that push drag. So
I'm doing my best.
All right.
Okay, so Sebastian, you should be able to find Sebastian.
Okay, perfect. I love you. Nice.
There we go. We got the second one.
Then we have Group B. Yeah, not the $15 one against the randoms. All right, guys. We now have both tables open. We're going to flip between the two.
And I think we're still waiting for the third one to start, right?
I think so. Let me take another search here for James.
So Maya's just got a few chips back. We've got a River Disintegrate on the other table.
Yeah, I mean, what are the blinds at now? The blinds are 75, 150. I think this is definitely a spot where you can come back, especially because Moon Cactus has energy still. It's, you know, having energy at a short stack is so valuable. If you have no chips and no energy, you're really in a bad spot. Oh, there you go, guys. That was the sound. That was the Syphon.
No, but I don't know if anybody picked up on the graphic as well. It kind of looks like a kind of a stick figure.
Yeah.
With the arms being the branches between the energy.
Right. I kind of like that. There's kind of like it's like a harpoon. Harpoon goes out, and then the harpoon electrifies.
Lorray seem to be having some trouble. Lorray, if you can, what you need to do is go to your tickets in your MyStars, and double click on the ticket. It should take you. It should show you the the eligible game you can join, and then it'll take you right into the game. But you need to do it through the ticket.
Lucas, the Syphon is only in the championships for now, but as soon as the championships are over, it will be available it'll be available globally, so anybody can actually use Syphon after these are done. Okay, we have Group C now as well. We're going to open up this table that has James on it, hopefully.
Group A.
Group A. Thank you very much, Strag.
Is Maya stream? I know she's streaming on delay, right?
She's streaming on a huge delay.
She said 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. I don't blame her.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested, Mooncactus is actually streaming, but she will have a huge delay. So if you want to see what happens here live and then go back and see her thoughts.
It's a very interesting point. And we've got an all-in on Group B.
And Group B over here.
Against Adester, who was my pick in this group. And I'm disappointed to see nobody's picked Murray Horsepark. So I guess I don't have to change my allegiance.
Yep, you can keep it on your picks.
I mean, I really wish everybody could we could have a 9-man final, because everybody's really deserving here.
Yeah,
really
definitely.
Amazing players.
The finalists today are definitely some of the best players who are playing the game right now. All right, let's go. I'm gonna switch back to table 1 here with Mooncactus in Group C, just because we have Mooncactus slightly short stacked here.
Now 100, 200 blinds gone up, so going to put a bit more pressure on.
Yep, definitely lots of pressure. But if there's anybody that I know can play out of this kind of a scenario,
well, not only is she good, when I've watched her play, she tends to run pretty pure as well.
Well, that
not
helps.
A bad combination.
No comment on that front, Strag. I've definitely never suffered at the hands.
I've been counting actually how many flips that you lose, and I really want to just flip coins against you for money. Maybe. I might even give you like 55-45 or something like that. You do seem to run bad against me, but only in flips.
Only in flips. Everything else seems to come together quite nicely.
Yeah. You can't have it all, right? You playing good and running good. That's
exactly.
That's Mooncactus.
That
can only be one.
Mooncactus incarnate. We're seeing a lot of Syphons go down, as you'd expect for such a low cost card. It's going to be used pretty. It's going to be pretty.
Well, see, another dynamic, right? Because there's now 11 powers. That means all of the powers are going to appear less frequently, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
We've got. Here we go. We've got an all in here in Group C.
And there's an engineer being played by J7. This could be really pivotal. Oh, he's taken the 5, upgrading the 5. That's going to be a very strong move. Yep. Oh, threw it away.
There you go, running pure. He throws away the pair in favor of having the 2 overcards and a flush draw, which I'm actually...
That's an interesting choice.
That is an interesting choice. I mean, he is going to be favored against top pair there unless he has his other card blocked.
I think it's strong, though.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think it's also a way to sort of... you're proofing yourself if they do have top pair as well, right? So if she does turn up with the 7 in that situation...
you're always going to have outs, right?
Yeah, well, and if they do have the 7 and then not a card that you hold as well, you're obviously going to have the favorite. You're going to be the favorite in that situation.
And also strong to give yourself a chance. Throwing away the 5, it means you're filtering through the deck as well, right? So
did Mooncactus have one of her cards exposed?
She did.
She had the king exposed.
Yes,
okay, I was going to say, in a situation where Mooncactus didn't have a card exposed, he could also be giving himself a superior flush draw, if that's the way to say it. If there's an inferior flush draw, then a superior, I suppose. Yeah. So in that situation as well, that'd be a good spot, because you could be giving yourself a better draw. Okay.
So Anuj was claiming that I would be rooting for him if he'd qualify for the championship. No comment, Anuj. No comment. I can't comment about people who didn't actually make the finals.
Fat Jewish kid, how are you doing? Maya dodged the world there. Yep.
She dodged the world, and now she's back in it.
Now she's back in the game,
as you would expect, because that's what.
Here we go, guys.
That's what Mooncactus does. And look at these Syphons. I love these Syphons firing off.
Yep. Okay, we have a really, really big raise here.
It's like Syphon is really never a dead card, right?
Right. Yeah. It's always helpful. It's always helpful. Hated has opted to flatten this situation so that presumably he can play a card on this flop. It looks like we're going to have.
We've got an all in.
Something's going to change hands here. Make the call.
And there's a call. Queens against 7s, and the Queens are going to hold.
J7 takes a hit here.
So he went from chip hero on this table and now in 3rd place.
Hated is definitely a player that's been rising up the ranks really quickly. He's not. I'm not sure. Hated, please let me know if I'm wrong here. I don't believe he's a member of the OP Poker community yet, but it's certainly not a player that yet, of course, yet. But also, he's not a player that I think many of us have played. Many of the OG
there's
power
a deploy
players.
on the other tables.
We have a deploy over here, you guys.
I love that pre-flop deploy. It's one of my favorites.
It's and well, again, and it's another reason why deploy is never a dead card as well, because you can just fire it up. Also, one of the things that I don't like to do it, but you can do is you can deploy disintegrate, which is a way to cycle disintegrate, which we didn't have before pre-flop.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
And it isn't a very expensive way to cycle, but in certain situations when you just got a completely dead power card hand, it's it's a fantastic way to go about it. Okay, so we're gonna try and just keep an eye over here. J7 isn't in a pot, so we're gonna keep an eye on the table where I love your mom all in here on a pre-flop with pre-flop-ish, sort of pre-flop. Pre-flop with benefits.
Yes. By the way, so I saw news just saying that I would be rooting for him because he uses Murray as an avatar. All right, in that case, you're right. I would have been rooting for you then, Anuj, if you had made the finals.
All right, so we didn't see an all-in there. I love your mom is definitely stacking up here. He's also in kind of an interesting spot here where he's got not very much energy, but whenever you're three-handed, you have that additional buffer where you're not bleeding as fast because you're not heads up. You're not paying as many big blinds. So you actually have that additional spot in your orbit where you can get those extra 2 points for free, and that's so valuable. I think that should come into people's decision making a little bit more frequently as well, because if you can spend a ton of points to win a lot of chips, but you're still going to be three-handed for at least like 2 more hands, it's a way that you can get even in terms of points before you actually go into
interesting choice here, by the way, as well, with so little energy and only 1 power.
Yep.
Still choosing to go all in.
Absolutely.
I like it.
I like it a lot. It's a situation where you can put on a lot of pressure. Presumably, though, this is going to be a much stronger shoving range than not, because for the most part, when you have that kind of a stack, you want to wait to actually get some better power card combinations to make a more. There's an all-in. Kings versus sixes. I was going to say it. I was going to say it has to be a strong hand for him to want to do that, and it looks like we have our first bust out.
We do.
Destor being eliminated from game 1 from Group B.
James is playing Princess 5-bet. We haven't actually shown James's table yet.
No, we haven't. We've been trying to bounce around. We can take a look at James's table now. Why not? Down here we have James over here on our left. It looks like James is the chip leader on this table as well. Avi, thank you for the sub.
Thank you for the sub.
Great content, Nick. Here's to the growth of OP Poker. Here's to the growth of you, Avi. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by.
It was a sub. That was fantastic.
It was a sub as well. Right. I wasn't expecting any subs today, but thank you so much. Princess 5-bet, you are most welcome here. Princess 5-bet, of course, being the most gifted subber, the most sub-gifter that we've ever had here at OP Poker.
Is that how you say that?
That's how you, apparently that's
most
how you
gifted
say
subber.
The most gifted subber.
The most gifted sub-gifter.
Very, very, very talented.
The gifted sub-gifter. Gifted sub-gifter. I can't really say that again.
The most gifted sub-gifter. That's right. All right, so of course we're going to keep our eye on Group B up here.
We got Maya all in on the other table.
Oh, cool. Let's try and jump up here.
Switch over that. Maya's Moon Cactus, by the way. Oh, and sorry, just as we switch over.
Okay. That's fine. I think table 2 over here, which is Group B with I Love Your Mom, is probably going to be coming to an end quite soon. Looks like Dota Gore is just above 10 big blinds effective. But I Love Your Mom, again,
pretty low on energy. We got an all-in on the on James's table.
Let's get down here.
All-in and call. Oh, and flops the joint with a set. Look at that. What a run out.
Wow, what a run out.
Oh, man. Jack Queen flops the joint against bottom set.
What a flop. Yeah, James, that was incredible. I agree, my friend. Yeah, he just flops it, lays there like, give me that set, baby. That's what I like to see. Actually, we just missed a little bit of action up here on this table.
You got action flying all over the place here.
Yeah, it's going to get pretty hot and heavy to try.
Well, the other thing is these players are so good that they're playing quite quickly.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the advantages is that they're familiar with these situations, so they really don't have to. They're not thinking it through as much as maybe somebody who's not as familiar with the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if you watch really good chess players, there's a sequence of movements that is automatic.
Yes.
And then it's just click, 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 and then they can think about the tough spots.
I know especially when I've watched Moon Cactus play, she has these very much automatic plays where you just kind of go boom, 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 and you're just like, okay, there you go.
All right, we have an all in. It looks like J7 has been eliminated from.
It does.
Oh. Yep. J7 has been eliminated, so we don't have any wins yet that we need to update. And it looks like we are heads up here on table 1 and table 2. There's an all-in here.
We do have an all-in with I Love Your Mom against Dota Gore. I'm assuming that's how we say that.
That's how I was doing it, Dota Gore.
Hopefully, I'm not saying something bad in another language.
Well, I was gonna say.
I trust our support would have caught that. We are quite good at that.
I was gonna say to Seb, kudos to you, because I never thought that you thought your name would be read out on a stream like this, but you got me to say I love your mom several times now on stream. Several times. In fact, it came as such a surprise. Oh, here we go.
Oh wow. Oh,
that's a great flop.
There's the flush.
All right, and we have our first win for I love your mom.
Wow.
That's it. So
Very strong.
I love your mom.
The club deploy was the key card.
That was it.
He saw that he was going to have extra chances to hit the flush, and there it was.
That's right. And I love your mom gets racked up 1 win, so hopefully that'll show there. I love your mom in Group B gets his first win.
Group B, you guys please join your games again.
Yep.
So we can start playing them again, because we do have quite a few games to get through.
Moon Cactus is all in, guys. Oh no, it's a fold now.
And Moon Cactus has really come back, right?
Yeah.
Remember, she was really on fumes and was down to less than 600 chips, I think.
Yep. I think at one point it was only just over 3 big blinds total.
Yeah. And that's, as I said, being good and running pure. That's a pretty deadly combination.
Sorry about that, guys. That is the random $15. So just for the record as well, I love your mom just won that game while playing another $15 game,
which he's chip leading in as well.
And actually, I think Seb is probably one of the best examples of someone who's proven that you can multi-table power up. Especially like you were saying, once you get those auto moves in, once you can autopilot the really easy decisions or the things that other people would take time to consider, you can just click. He's here playing for literally $3,000. $3,000 goes to first, and he's still playing a $15 on the side.
And no doubt, still continuing to crush.
Let's actually take a look at that, shall we? And he is heads up with the chip lead on his $15 table. Of course he is.
In a 15, no less. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, I think the finalists that made it here really speaks volumes about the skill level of Power Up and how skilled the game really is, especially in its current configuration.
Like, it gives me a chance to maybe talk about some of the other stats I had. Okay. So one of the things I was always really interested in was like how people were going to play their qualifying periods. Are people going to play them throughout the week? Are they going to play them at the front load of the beginning? Right. Or are they going to play them really towards the end?
There was some discussion on that.
Yeah. Interestingly, so two players played all 40 of their games on the first day of qualifying.
And those players were?
Let me look it up here. What do I see? The two players were, I know one of them was Moon Cactus.
Yep.
And the other one was I Love Your Mom.
There you go.
So there you go.
And two of the best.
Two of the best. And because there was a lot of discussion on Discord about, there was definitely people who were saying, I'm waiting till the last day.
Yeah, right.
Like, there were people talking about what time of day.
Yep.
And then, of course, there was the other strategy. Which price point do you play? And of course, you earned way more points for the higher price point.
You did, yep.
But you're playing tougher competition.
You're playing the absolute best, yeah. And actually, that was something that I think we found was that the players that qualified right away got their points and they did as well as they possibly could. And then they were sandbagging the opposition as well. So throughout the week, they were just putting in volume and just trying to be on as many tables as they could against the opposition to deny the points.
That was always going to be a good strategy.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think that's very strong. And then the other one was there was only two players who played a game on all 5 days. And those two players were Dota Gore and our own OP Poker James.
That's amazing.
JLH Mac. So and I know in talking to James that he was really sweating it as well, right? He even told me that I think he said his last 5 games he's never felt more pressure playing poker in his life, and this is the man who's played some pretty big stakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, he's definitely never shied away from playing games, and it's just the added pressure of having to perform in those. We have an all in here.
Yeah. Oh, dominated hand.
Dominated hands.
Oh, but the 5 got there, and the 5 is going
to take it. Oh, Moon Cactus.
What a flop! And again, that's turning into a really interesting battle over there.
Yeah, I mean, also James is coming from a background of someone that was always playing cash, and cash is like a long game, right? You just kind of, and you can have bad days and you can have good days, but it's a long game, and as long as you're doing the right thing most of the time, you're going to do well.
That's true. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we have this, in the next 5 games, you need to play the best power up you've ever played in order to qualify for the championships. And I think that is the transition at which Power Up goes from being a really interesting sit and go to being potentially an esport, potentially a game with esport potential, a league system of some variety.
A pair's been exposed for Maya. See what happens over here.
This is going to be really interesting to see how this plays out.
There's a big pot.
It's a big pot already. The stakes, yeah. Well, the blinds are 3 and 6.
X-rays played back.
So it's a 4 big blind pot.
That's an interesting card to show.
Very interesting.
8 of hearts is a very interesting card.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see how both of these players, being so underpowered, will play out of these situations, because I feel like that's a really interesting skill. Not having all the
Syphon
points
would be interesting right now. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. But when you're in a situation where you've got one opponent who's got lots of points and somebody with very few, Nano King, thank you for the follow. It's going to be really easy. You know, that's an easy situation. But when both players are low points, it almost gets a little bit closer to its core, which is essentially spin and go kind of play,
That's
like
true.
hyper play.
That's true.
So having a little bit of a background in a game like spin and go, or having a background in heads up hypers, really gives you an edge in those situations.
Yeah, I would think so.
All right, she's putting on the pressure. And she has an ace. That's a jack. Clubs,
and nope, it's the king jack.
All right, we're back to square one. It's taking some time. I'm gonna keep an eye over here on the refresh page, trying to see if we're getting into our next game.
James has gotten into a bit of trouble.
Here he is. Okay, we have our next table of Group B, which I'm going to put.
James has just gone all in but one.
Oh, sorry guys.
And he's gone with the deuce 7.
He's live.
Spade? Nope, there's no spade.
No good. James busts his table.
Is out.
And Mooncactus is an all in but one up here as well.
Is that got a name, by the way? All in but one?
I think that's exactly what you call it.
Just all in one.
All in but one. I mean, I've actually been trying to invent a new play, which is like all in but some, where you put in enough to potentially actually get some fold equity on the flop, even though you never should.
Right.
And which is actually working out pretty good so far, but it's still in the theoretical process.
And Maya's done the reload, and
did she straight up? She straighted up. That's her.
Straightener.
Okay, she's coming back.
And so
Victor's all in down left as well.
You got an all in on it again on a deploy.
Mooncactus is all in here too.
Pair of 3s against a pair of 8s, and the 8
it swings
ace
back.
8 is going to go back.
It swings back.
Mooncactus still has the lead in that match, but
the blinds are now 400, 800, which is
a
level that you rarely see.
I was going to ask you how often you think you might see that. One in 100 games?
Very rarely. I mean, that's so essentially your starting stack is 2.5 big blinds or something, isn't it? So
there has to be some all-ins, and it makes it a little tough to play at this point.
It does. Yeah, at this point you can see that it's.
This is where you're back to your heads up.
They're hypers. They're hypers. Yeah, straight up.
I mean, you're also some of the points too where you're all in pre. You don't even get to play power, and that's one of the things we did debate about too, was actually giving all in players the ability to play power.
Yep.
And that came about from the power that I've talked about before on a previous broadcast that we called zombie, which was the ability to unfold your hand.
Yep. Unfold
and unfold and come back into the hand. And it turned out that was really not only was it OP, but at the same time, it actually also was a problem, because that meant that you would have to stop and ask every player at every single opportunity if they wanted to play power.
Yep.
And that really broke the pacing of the game.
Sorry, I'm listening. I'm just trying to juggle. these two. No, it's okay. Yeah, no, and actually, I'd like to point out.
I think Maya's just lost.
Oh, I think Maya just busted. So Hated wins the first.
Maya made a valiant effort to try and come back. They're really impressive.
We have an all in down here as well. Looks like Victor has doubled though, so we need to put another win on Hated.
Yes. There we go.
Can you see Hated somewhere?
Yes, it's the. Yes, Group C at the top. Right here.
Here it is. Thank you. Cool. So Hated gets another win there.
As we point to things that nobody else can see.
Yep, absolutely. And actually, I'd like to point out at this point that the zombie card, as you said, is kind of like an unfold. Power, excuse me. Hey, Check. Thank you very much for the host with 43 viewers. Wow. How you guys doing? Welcome to OP Poker. I think you guys have tuned in just in time to see Victor bust, which means Larray is going to take his first game down. And Larray gets another one. So let's get Larray in there. Actually, I can pull this up. Can I like this? This would be better. And Larray gets his first win.
So that basically means nobody that I picked has actually won a game. Well, that's...
So we should have a winner in each category now. Is that correct? Yeah, nice.
Yes.
I'd like to point out at this point, though, Zombie is a power that you could call Unfold. So it's kind of an Unfold, right?
It is. Yeah.
So Jack Black Power, Unfold, in fact, is a power after all.
Was that an argument you guys were having?
No. It was we were talking about Unfold at the same time, and he was in chat going, by the way, Nick, Unfold is not a power. Thank you very, very much for the follows, guys. How you guys doing? Welcome to the Power Up Championships.
It's way cooler called Zombie, though.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's definitely much better. You welcome to OP Poker, guys. We are currently hosting the first ever Power Up Championships. in Group B. No, Group A. The very first ever Power Up Championships. We're just trying to juggle tables right now. We're currently in the semifinals stage, and we're trying to see who is going to go through to the finals now.
So as you can see below us, you can see the standings of each group.
Yep.
And each group, we've had one winner of each one.
That's right.
So those players haven't. It's a race to 3 wins. So it's the first player to get 3 wins in a particular group will not only qualify to the finals, they're guaranteed money.
They're guaranteed money. They are guaranteed at least $1,000 for coming second or third.
$1,000.
1,000 buccarinos.
That's not a bad amount of money.
That is a pretty substantial sum. So guys, we are live again with all 3 tables. I know that they're a little bit out of alignment, but they should be able to follow along with what's going on. The table that's been running the longest here is table 2 with Dodor Gore being a little bit understacked here. A little bit short stacked, I should say.
We got a fairly decent wide variety of avatar selections here as well.
Yeah, I'm digging that.
I'm loving it. Probably my second favorite avatar is the Juan Dvorak avatar.
This one.
The one the 13 Victor is using.
Yep.
Really, I just love the eyes, the red and blue.
Yeah, this guy down here, guys.
Yeah, very cool, very cool avatar.
He's kind of got like a sleuth thing going on, right? He's kind of like
like
a private eye.
There is a backstory for each and every one of these characters, and if you're in the client, you can find the backstory for each one of them. It's quite cool. And so somebody Avigable asked, so I think hopefully we've answered that. How many? So 3 wins for the semifinals. The finals will be 1 game, winner take all.
Avi also, this is Chris Straghalis, who is the official title
Director of Poker Product.
Director of Poker Product. I always get that one wrong. That's why I ask.
And what it really means is we make cool stuff.
We make coolstuff.com. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
I see that there's a Chris command, as Eva has put
Thank you, Eva. Thank you, Eva. You're doing a bang up job.
Yeah, better known as Strag.
Better known as Strag, yes. So if you've ever been on our channel, and I know you have before, if you ever see PokerStars Strag or Strag floating around, this is the man joining us live from the Isle of Man.
That's right. That's right.
All the way from...
Flew in this morning.
Boy,
are my arms tired.
All right, we have an all-in over here. Moon Cactus versus Ace-9. Moon Cactus is going to bust up J7 here as well. Looks like she's going to another heads up.
Boy, I honestly think she's pretty upset about that last loss.
Do you know what? She doesn't like losing. I think that's you know, for Moon Cactus in particular has always been really good about calling me out when she felt like I was being negative on stream. And for somebody that calls me out pretty frequently about being negative on stream, I've seen her, you know, in a bad way.
We just lost James again.
Oh, we just busted James down here. Excuse me, guys.
James just lost with top pair Ace 10 versus trip 3, 6-3.
Thank you, Strag.
The 13 Victor had. So yeah, unfortunate for James. I think if I'm James right now, obviously he has to be rooting for the 13 Victor to win this one, right?
Yep, that's
right. Because he doesn't want Lorraine to get that second win.
That's right.
That would really put Lorraine in the driver's seat there.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So he just wants to elongate these games, and he wants to give himself additional opportunities. And
of course, community. You want James, right?
That's right.
Because we got the money factor coming.
Yep. Right? We got James. James is for those of you that just joined the stream. OP Poker James vowed that he would donate or give away any money that he won here today back to our community in some way, shape, or form.
If you want to put it back on the other the Lorraine and 13 Victor match,
sure. Just
a really fun fact about these 2 players. These 2 players had the lowest number of third place finishes in their 40 games, with only 4. Each of them had only 4 third place. Only 4 out of 40 games. That's not easy.
That is well. So this was a topic. Thank you very much for the follow, Snopey. This is a topic that actually came up when I was playing my qualifications live on stream, which James opted not to do, so he wouldn't be wouldn't be followed.
Yes.
Followed.
Well, not just that. Obviously, he said he wanted to focus more as well.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And that was one of the things that came up was people were saying, "Oh, Nick, I feel like you're playing well, but like maybe you shouldn't have taken that line so you get more seconds." And I don't know mathematically if that adds up, so to speak, because you're always sort of you're always playing for a win because it's winner take all.
Money wise, you are.
Well, and
I know there was controversy about the fact that we decided to award points for second and third, and we didn't make them equal.
Yep.
And it made a difference.
It did.
It made a difference.
It did make a difference.
And I do think that when you look at Lorraine and the 13 Victor. Clearly, I'm not saying that they necessarily intentionally said we're just trying to avoid third.
Right.
But clearly, Did I talk about the fact about James actually having the most overall wins?
Yeah.
So he didn't actually finish at the top of his leaderboard.
Yep.
But he actually had the most. We had more wins than anybody else in the Grandmasters, not in the overall.
Yeah.
But anybody else in the Grandmasters, he had the most
amazing.
outright wins. So James went for the money.
Yeah, and where did he place in the end though?
Was he second or he was second in the Grandmasters?
So it's interesting that he had the most. So theoretically, money wise, he must have won the most.
You would that would tend to work out if you win most of the winner take all.
Mathematically speaking.
Wow, you're a math genius.
I know.
As a maths genius.
As a maths genius.
We're Americans.
Oh,
so
sorry.
We can say math genius,
yeah.
but it's supposed to be math genius
right.
since we're in the UK.
Of course, yeah.
Never understood that one, by the way.
Neither did I.
Is it one math or many maths? Or
it's all of the studies.
All the maths are
all of the studies of mathematics wrapped into one.
All your maths are belong to us. I don't know.
That is a great reference. Right? Very good. Very good.
I'm not sure how many people still get that one, but
what was it? All your base are.
All your base are belong to us. Okay, so
right, so we got some action down here, bottom left. I know Strag probably has some other stuff, other fun facts floating around.
I do have some more. I have 42 players qualified for both leaderboards, including you. Mm-hmm. You played both leaderboards.
I did.
Didn't finish both of them.
I did.
Did not finish both of them.
No, I opted not to finish the Masters because I was looking at the very top and I realized I couldn't actually complete. Do I have any regrets about that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, also for the sake of the stream, because I did all of it on stream, I wanted to be streaming what I thought was most relevant as well.
To be fair, you came in 10th in the Grandmasters.
Yeah.
So that's still a very strong effort.
Yeah, I think so.
Really strong effort, especially, as you said, doing them on stream. And maybe people might not know this. You played one of your games at the $7 level, not the $15 level. which actually could have come back to your haunt you.
I think we were talking about it earlier. Potentially, if I had come first in that game at the higher stake, I would have maybe snuck into the top 6. Correct?
That's possible. Possible.
Yeah.
And you came in 3rd in that game as well.
Yeah.
So that actually was the worst possible outcome for you.
Right, exactly right.
To fire that and come in 3rd.
Yep.
You got
we have an all-in over here, top right.
Oh, there's spade. No, the ace-7.
Ace-7
a duster, and Dodor Gore is going to be eliminated.
Okay, Dodor Gore is limited there in Group B. We also have... Oh, there you go. Did you see that, guys? Moon Cactus, as he made his play, siphoned. And then Syphon folded. I was going to say, this could be a spot where
Syphon fold?
Yeah, well, I don't think Syphon fold was the play I wanted to talk about necessarily, but it was a situation where after he committed a lot of his chip stack, you could potentially sabotage his opportunities to play combinations later, which is what we were talking about just before the stream kicked off. And that's going to be such an exciting play because now you just commit a bunch of chips and the only thing you have to worry about is EMP. Yeah. But now you also have to worry about a potential Syphon as well. Yes. Oh man, it's brain melting.
It is. Well, that's what we like to do. We like to change things up.
We like to melt the brains. I can actually, I can see the power community now crying out.
Yeah, sorry, it's not live yet for those asking in the chat. Syphon is only live for the semifinals and the final matches. As soon as the finals is over, as soon as the finals are over, we're going to inject Syphon into the metagame.
So you won't see them in your games now, but you will once this stream is completed.
So it should be fun. It should be fun.
Princess 5bet. Let me have a couple drinks and then Skype me while streaming. Absolutely, yeah, sure.
Show me the money. Says Strag should be here more often.
I agree.
You know what? I don't disagree. I love Brighton. I absolutely do love Brighton.
It's true.
And normally it's actually quite easy to get here. It wasn't this particular trip.
Not today, no.
No, I had a little bit of planes, trains, and automobiles with minus the trains because it turned out the trains were not actually running on their normal schedule. So what was normally like a 20, 30-minute train would have been an hour and a half.
Right.
So I wound up having to take an alternate.
Yeah, I mean, one of the coolest things about living in Brighton, guys, is you can fly into Gatwick, and Gatwick is an international airport. For the most part, you can just jump a train. It's the easiest thing in the world, and you're straight back home. But today, unfortunately, not. Also, it's that Brighton half marathon tomorrow as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to be looking forward to trying to make that journey back home again. Who knows? Maybe you might have a house guest. We'll see.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No problem at all. We'll definitely have you on for another day. No problem.
So Lucas is asking if you can make some lessons with Syphon. I'm sure there'll be some content. Right, there has to be some content upcoming about Syphon.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, op.poker will be on that straight away. Actually, I feel like this was a really interesting way to go about releasing the card because it gives you guys an opportunity to play it a little bit before we actually. We have an all-in up here, top right. I love your
mom against a duster. A duster could try to even things up here. And because it was I love your mom who won the person. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. Yep. So
a duster playing an engineer. Oh, that's an interesting engineer actually. Quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean And
I love engineer, by the way.
Yeah,
I love the fact. One of the things we debated was whether everybody should see the cards, and I think it became
it's so
very
important.
clear. It's so important.
Right? No, it's
because we felt that was way too much information for one person to have.
But not only that. Oh, he makes the right call with ace high, and Destor is going to take down his first game.
That's really changed things up in that group. We've got Destor and I Love Your Mom both on.
But that was a perfect example of what you were talking about. The fact that he sees the 10 when he plays the engineer makes it less likely that he has top pair.
Exactly.
So I think that's what's more important than just the information point is it opens up a whole new avenue of bluffing opportunities and representation. Yes. So one of the coolest things that we do. Oh, there's a heads up down here, bottom left.
And there's the King 10. Larry bag.
Victor's gonna. Oh, never mind.
No.
Sorry, guys.
Larry Baggy got there. So.
It just opens up.
Lorray, sorry, I should say.
Lorray. So who do we have to mark up? A Destor as well has one now.
Yeah, a Destor.
Okay,
there you go.
Nice. And let's keep an eye on Group B. Oh, we can have multiple like this, can't we? Okay. Moon Cactus in Group C. Oh no, she's still here. We need to find another player. Sorry, going back to the engineer point. I mean, it just opens up this amazing avenue of picking a card that's like obviously the straight card and then putting it in your hand and then representing the straight is one of the most interesting things.
The bluff possibility.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just, and without the ability to see. Sorry guys, going up to top left. Looks like there's lots of action up here.
A lot of action. Big pot here. We've got to get it. Another key engineer and an EMP shove. Snap call.
Okay.
King, Queen, Ace, Jack. And no, the Ace Jack is going to hold. So Hated, once again, putting the beat down on Maya.
Yeah. He seems to be performing really well in these pre-flop all-in situations.
Yeah, he's flipping really well. It's like he's art against you.
I think
there's Maya all in but one, and a key scanner happening.
I think what you guys are seeing here is really indicative of what happens at the highest levels of Power Up right now. You have two people that are playing really good Power Up. And a lot of times it just comes down to those flip situations like you would expect.
She's kept that scanner. That's got to be good for her.
Oh, it's
good. That's very good. And locks it up on the turn. Huge pot to win.
Yep. So
huge pot to win.
This is exactly my point. You've got two people that are making very few mistakes.
And you see how quickly she played that as well. Scanner, clone, scanner, boom.
Yeah. She can see it coming. And what happens is you've got two opponents who are using their energy as effectively as they possibly can. So whenever they go down together.
Yes.
So they both spend their energy at the critical points.
Energy balancing, right?
Yeah.
And that's where Syphon's really going to be. I can't wait to see how interesting the game is going to become. The meta game is going to change.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maya's has been a pair revealed for Maya.
Yeah.
And it's not stopping Hated. He's betting right into it.
I think the biggest sign of when you're seeing a strong opponent and a weak opponent is you're seeing someone use their resource management really effectively, and they've got all the points for the entire match, and they're never being challenged. Oh, we have an all-in down here, bottom left. Sorry guys, flipping between those. A6 versus 5-10. It's looking like the clubs.
Club.
Victor is going to take that one.
It's going to be put Lorray on fumes there.
Yeah.
And he's all in, and. 8 deuce, and the flush gets there again, and that's the 13 Victor taking that one down.
Victor. All right, we have another game here in Group B. I'm going to lock up here.
So that was a key hand for Lorray to lose there. That fourth club coming,
absolutely.
That would have been Lorray taking a huge 2-0 lead. We have to imagine James was shouting and hollering, very excited about that result. He must have really willed that fourth club in.
Absolutely.
Because obviously that put it Lorray on the back foot.
Yep. Gonna do another search here for JLH Mac. Okay, looks like we do have him in Group A. Let's try and get that table where it's supposed to be. Okay, we've got another game running now here, bottom left.
So both of the Group A and Group B, we've got two people on 1 win each, which is, I mean, we really kind of hope for that, right? We want this to come down to the wire.
We want the sweat. Right? We want the sweat.
Exactly. We want it. I mean, we're not involved. We don't have to worry.
We're not invested, but are we? No, we are.
Well, I want good games.
I'm emotionally invested in making this championship the bomb. So yeah, absolutely, we want the good games.
For sure.
I mean, and when we're watching people play like we are here with Moon and Hated up here, it's like you're seeing them. They're like mirroring each other, which is something that you do in a lot of games at a high level, right? Like,
is that Maya?
There you go.
That's Maya.
That's Maya just busted by Hated there.
Wow.
Which gives him 2 games, I believe.
That is huge. That does give him 2 games. A very tough group, as I said. I said that was going to be a very tough group. Maya, unfortunately, has both times, I think, had the ability. She's had the chip lead heads up both times.
Yep.
she's had that opportunity. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out for her.
Absolutely.
And now she's on the ropes,
Yep.
as obviously as J7 is as well.
Yep.
So
I mean, I think that's definitely what it comes down to when you see two good power-up players playing each other. It a lot of times just comes down to the king queen versus ace jack. It comes down to the pocket fives versus ace 10 or ace jack. And
60-40s, 50-50s.
Yeah, 60-40s, 50-50s, and a lot of those situations as well. A lot of like the I feel like when you have a background in hypers, you really know where the cutoff is in a lot of these situations. Like, you know that ace 9 is probably a fist pump get in, right? But weaker opponents who are used to playing 9-handed tournaments or something like that, they're like, ooh, ace 9 is really not all that strong, because you get in a lot of trouble if you play 9-handed with ace 9 for the most part. So making it's just another great way to highlight how having a really well-rounded group of games that you play, or at least experimenting in game types and learning kind of what they're about, gives you a really holistic idea of how to play fundamentally. And also, and for sure, if you want to learn how to play power up really well, I think getting some kind of a background in hypers is just a fantastic way to go about it.
Or watching all the amazing videos that OP Poker's
Absolutely,
created.
Absolutely. Thank you for the plug, Shaq.
That's what we're here for.
All right, let's move Cactus up here as well. We have another game running. So if Hated wins another game here,
if Hated wins this one, that's he's through to the finals.
That's right.
Which will be impressive, right? That's going to be quite the accomplishment.
If he could just go bang 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 and get them all in, that's pretty interesting.
But again, we talked. Did we talk about this? I'm trying to think. Do I have a fun fact about Hated? Well, I did. Maybe not. By the way, thanks to Jack Blackbauer, aka Nick, aka Neil. Neil on Discord, who put together all these stats for me. Really fantastic job, and I can't thank him enough.
Hey, 1 second. Thank you very much for the hosts. Thank you for those 1 viewers. Smells so good. Thank you so much. Sorry, you were saying, Strike? So
anyway, I was just thanking Neil for putting that together for us, we had a couple more. So I did mention earlier about Adester. Why he was my pick was because he had the most overall combined points, but pointing it out too that Adester not only did qualify in the Grandmasters, but was actually 6th in the Masters. And Dodor Gore, who came 2nd in the Masters, was actually 8th in the Grandmasters. These are impressive performances.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially in the Masters, as we were saying. In Masters, the difference between Masters and Grandmasters is at Masters, there was a lot of variance regarding your opponent type, right? Because there were so many more people taking part, you could go on a string of where you were playing lots of people who had never even touched the game. And we know Power Up is such a skilled format that if you went on a string of playing enough weak opponents, or even just running hot, or a combination of the two, the points totals were just like through the roof. Some people were just getting these unbelievable win streaks.
And it's interesting to point out too that the 3rd place finisher, Hated, in the Masters, had more points than the 1st place in the Grandmasters. Indicative both of it's a tougher field, much more players to compete against, but also the fact that the Grandmasters is definitely harder. And like the vast majority, this is another fun fact. So that you would assume that because we gave people more points for playing the higher limits. So in the Grandmasters, you play the $15 and the $7 for your point games, and in the Masters it was $1 and $3. We gave you more points for playing the higher buy-ins, so $3 and the $15. And there was a question about would you move down and try and play softer fields, right? So you yourself made a mistake.
I did. The answer is unequivocally at the highest level. You need those extra points. Every penny counts.
So there are 2 players who played some games at the lower stakes.
Really?
Yeah, and that was Adester. Right? Who again, consistency played actually played 5 games out of the 40 games. 5 of his games played at the 7s.
Oh, wow!
And actually only managed 1 win out of that as well. Oh, wow. So really impressive. Right?
I mean, but
won 17 out of 35 of the other 15.
Well, but this is the important point to make, right? Was it's getting the so he could perform so poorly at those stakes and still make it up with the additional points at the higher. So I guess the answer is unequivocally. Oh, we have an all in down here, bottom left. Oh, sorry. Where am I? There you go, guys. We had an all-in from Ace Queen, JLH Mac. Getting
James.
wrecked by Victor here. He gets Ace Queen all-in against Queen Jack pre-flop, and unfortunately,
13 Victor.
The 70-30 does not go his way.
Why is that one backwards?
I don't know. I have no idea how that happened. I was trying to fix that just now, and
do we blame Eva for that?
I think we have to. I think there's only one person to blame. You can laugh, Dave. I'm just kidding.
It's really bugging me.
I know.
I wish my OCD had not seen that.
Listen. Since I've spotted it, I can't stop looking at it. I'm trying to fix it, but I can't. All right, so I've actually never seen that before. It might just be a complete bug. I can't find anywhere.
Alignment left, vertical alignment top. No.
Yeah, see, that's normal.
That all looks good. Oh well.
Let's try and enter it again. I have literally
now that I've pointed that out, I'm sure nobody can unsee that, right? Right? You can't unsee it. Yeah. Sorry.
I've honestly never witnessed that before since I've been using OBS, but it's cool, I guess. God, that's gonna be annoying. It's gonna be annoying in the replay as well.
Somebody's offering to teach OP Poker math, and I'm not sure which OP Poker. Is referring to you or to James, or to you?
Yeah. No, I'm joking.
GBR breakdown. I could definitely use some lessons, so contact me in social media, please, for those lessons. That'd be fantastic. I have one of the funniest things people say to me when I play poker. They go, "Oh, you play poker? You played poker for a living?" I said, "Yeah." You must be amazing at math. I'm like, nope, not at all. No, I just memorize it all. I just memorize the stuff I need to know.
You don't actually. I mean, I think a lot of people think that about poker in general, is that you have to be a math genius.
Yeah. I mean,
and you really don't.
I mean, I suppose what they're trying to make reference to is maybe card counting, but even then, that's not really about being a math genius. It's just about being fast.
But there's also lots of shortcut rules: the rule of 2, the rule of 4. Right. These rules that you can learn quite easily.
The perfect pairs cancellation, or whatever it's called.
There's all kinds of really quick and dirty rules that you can find out that you don't have to know exact pot odds.
Yep. We have it all in here, guys. This could be it.
13 Victor with queens against King 4.
All right, Victor's going to take up another win here.
The 13 Victor, and the reverse numbering seems to be an indication. Let's see if you go to 2.
Yeah, I'll rebuild.
Oh, that's even worse now.
I'm going to try and add a new text element here.
Have you never written the number 1 backwards? I probably have and not even realized it. I might have even written the number 1 upside down and not realized it.
Ava, what was the font?
Free Road Light.
Thank you very much. And what was the font? I'll take a look actually.
No, Free Road Regular is this thick.
Okay, thank you. Victor New Properties Free Road Regular.
Light Regular.
Is it Free Road Light Regular?
No, just regular.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And then I need to find what the font size is. This is a font size of 72.
This is Oswald Newton.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. Are you sure it's not Oswald, Ava, in those? No. Okay, I think if the other one said Oswald, that's fine. Let's do that. It might be Oswald. Okay, cool. And then
Oswald Medium, sorry.
Okay, no problem.
That was right. Sorry, guys. We're talking a lot of technical stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, we know we have a mirror too. We're trying to fix that now, King.
Here we go.
It's bugging us probably more than you.
It is. Trust me.
And I think Nick has managed to use his technical prowess. We got I Love Your Mom here on. Can we switch to that game?
Yes, we can. I'm sorry.
Cool. There we go. We got I Love Your Mom here is really. You're right saying that is it does feel a bit. Why is it still backwards?
I don't know.
What the hell? Oh man!
You did it right, but then it snapped.
It's got to be okay. Well, let's focus on the game.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
And I Love Your Mom is contemplating a call for his tournament life with a It's a 3-handed pot here, and can't be an easy call. Clearly.
Oh, jeez.
You can't flip the.
Oh, that's how it flipped when we tried to move it. Okay, one second. Here's how we fix this. Then I know how we fix
flip
this.
Horizontal.
We reset transform, and then we actually.
Really, we are professionals.
Well,
you're professional.
I try.
Oh, look, there's anybody who watched the 6+ stream and saw Spraggy's keyboard accident.
One.
We lost I Love Your Mom, by the way. Sorry to say, we did lose I Love Your Mom. But anybody who watched the 6+ and saw Spraggy spill, I think it was a Fanta.
Yeah, I think it was Fanta.
A Fanta, and he spilled it all over his keyboard. Tried to claim it did no impact at all, and then it turned out it stuck his one
key down,
and he wound up making a bad shove, if I remember right. He wound up like making a
yeah. So he, every time he tried to size a bet, it was making him go all in.
And so anyway, so it's so the chat then all started spamming ones, and so I assume this is just your way to just one up him.
That's right.
See what I did there?
That's right. One up. Very good.
And two him. Oh, there's a straight against straight hand. Adestor and Dota Gore.
All right. Yeah, we're still focused on that table. Good.
Hey, what? It's correct.
It's correct now. I just gotta.
Don't mess with it.
I just gotta fix this.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. What are you doing?
There we go. Doesn't look the best though. Okay.
You know, it looks way better than it did before.
All right. Sorry, guys. All right, we got to find another player. We are now looking for JLH Mac. And here he is. Let's get James's table open here as well. It's Victor, if I'm not mistaken.
Victor has 2 wins. Right?
Has 2 wins. So if he wins this match, he will be going to the final, and he will be guaranteed $1,000 US. Looks like he's already off.
Wow! Look at that board there. Dota Gore and Adestor. That is a royal board if I have ever seen one.
It's a royal board indeed.
Oh,
it got more royal.
Oh, very royally. So what do you think? You think there's more royals in Power Up or in 6+?
6+.
Yeah,
for sure.
It would have to be.
For sure.
You've had a few already, right?
I think I've had at least one.
I know you've had at least one. I thought you had more than that.
I'm not sure. Yeah. But there were members of our community that said they had quads 4 times in the first session.
Somebody wants us to fix the backwards 8 and hate it. Well played. Well played.
GBR, very good. Very good.
I'm impressed.
Okay, it goes check, check. The 6-4 of spades is going to take it down there.
Wow.
Oh, we have an all-in down here, guys. This is going all in. James is all in with King, Queen. There's the King.
And there's, wow.
Okay, and that was Victor. That was the double Victor up.
Wow, that would have been massive. Hello.
Hello, he says. For those of you that haven't played much Power Up, hello is the emote that you use when you find the absolute miracle.
And that was he did have the 3-outer there.
Yeah, I mean
plus,
he did
some straight outs.
He did it in style though as well, right? You know, if you're gonna find the 3-outer,
flop 2 pair and then turn the nuts.
Find the boat every time.
Have your opponent drawing dead on the turn. There's just nothing like it, right?
Hey, thank you very much for the follow. By the way, guys, if I've been missing any follows today, I really appreciate them. It's just because we're kind of trying to juggle a couple.
Yeah, it is absolute madness and chaos going on right now.
It's okay, but there will be absolute focus on the final, guys.
Eva's running around the room, throwing things at us. No, she's not.
Wait a minute. That 2 just flipped back again. This is a serious meme. Somebody's messing with us.
There are little gremlins inside the computer. Did you not know that?
You know what? These championships will be defined not by the play, but by the backwards 2 on the leaderboard. In fact, I think from now on we should make that a every time we have to have at least one.
How did that possibly? It's changed the font as well, hasn't it? Oh, it's back.
Oh, I see. I know what's happened.
Oh,
I know what's happened.
You're using a different overlay. Right?
This is how I managed to break it.
Aha.
So we're gonna put that there.
So it is all your fault.
No, well, so it was broken anyway, but yeah, there we go.
So we've got an all-in of the Adestor. We can switch to the other table.
Thank you very much.
And Dota Gore is just upgraded to give himself
Flusherino.
a
there
flush
it
draw,
is.
and there it is. Against 2 pair as well.
Oh wow, Adestor taking a pretty savage one there. I think Ace-3 in that situation has about 50% equity, so it's definitely a close one.
And we lost. Oh no, that's we lost somebody at the table. We got J7. J7 is a massive lead over
here.
Action is fast and furious.
It's very fast.
King 3.
King 3 is going to take it.
Is going to take it down. Adestor is going to double up.
You think after all the poker we've played in our life, we would be able to spot these?
Well, you've definitely played more Power Up than I have.
That's true.
At least at this point, you have.
That's true.
Sure.
How many hands of poker do you think you've played? Just normal.
You know, not that many. I mean, because I worked for PokerStars for so long.
Right.
So, and I did play pro for a few months before that, back in the day. Literally back in the day. But Yeah, I mean it's probably less than 100,000.
Yeah, okay.
You know, which in these days, you know, in the days before online poker, that would have been a lifetime.
Here we go.
That's and there's straight
with the 7.
Hated sucks out after getting out flopped.
And we have an all in, or what looks to be an all in. Okay, no dice with the EMP. The EMP is usually a precursor to an all in.
Or a burn. You're just burning it, right?
Said no one ever.
Back in the day. Oh, no, and there we go. And there's J7.
J7's going to take his
putting it away. So Hated is not going to run the table in Group C.
All right.
And we liked, I mean, unlucky for Hated, obviously. Yep. But we do like to see that. And Maya has to be over the moon. Over the moon cactus. To see that. Because so you say there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. So.
All right, and back onto Group C here, guys.
I love to poker says great card idea. Can't quite see what that is. And...
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I guess commenting. No, I love to poker. The new card is not live in the games yet. It will be as soon as the final is over. Obviously, when I say as soon as the final is over, do give us a few minutes to update. So don't join the second the final is over. Give us a few minutes. I'll try to. I'm sure we'll stay on stream after the finals for a few minutes to wrap things up.
Definitely.
And I'll make sure that Marcos and Neil, who by the way, giving up their Saturday night on the Isle of Man. For Marcos, he's in Spain.
Amen.
Saturday night, obviously. Come on. Here for those guys.
JLH Mac picking up a pot here, a very big pot against Victor, and that means Victor is not going to be going to the finals just yet. Okay. At least not yet.
Okay, so a couple of the crowd favorites.
James puts in the rub with the hello. And it looks like up here, top right, this game is getting pretty hot and heavy as well.
I love whenever I see that. Like I said, I always just hear hello.
Hello. Yeah.
That's why I hear it. You know how you do that when you like see, you know, like when you're reading a book and you hear it in a certain voice. It's
hello.
I hear hello. Now you're all going to hear that. You can't help but hear that, right?
He does.
Who's Marcos and where is he at in Spain? That's Zindar, who's waving hello to you right there. That is Marcos.
That is Marcos. Shout out to my boy Marcos, of course.
Shout out to Zindar and Jack Black Bauer.
Yes, thank you very much for giving up your Saturdays, you guys.
Really appreciate it, guys.
Making this happen. And also, you know, tirelessly working behind the scenes prior to that as well.
That's true. That's true. As I already mentioned, Jack Black Bauer, Neil, did a tremendous amount of work putting all of the data together, giving all the leaderboard stuff to you guys and making sure that it was getting updated. Things didn't quite go as smoothly as we wanted in terms of compiling the data. We thought we were going to get an automated feed. We had to do some manual calculations. So yeah, it wasn't easy, and he really went the extra mile there. So really appreciate that. So somebody just tuned in. What is required from here for JLH Mac to progress to the next round? Well, first he has to win his first game, then he has to win another game, then he has to win a third one. So he needs 3 wins. He has 0 right now, unfortunately, but he is chip leading. He is chip leading.
Yep. Here he is again, facing an all-in here.
And facing an all-in.
3, 6, 9, 12.
Against Lorray. Lorray, who has a win as well.
It's only about 4-ish big blinds here. He's making a decision. If he finds a big card here, like a king,
but this is almost a must-win. Do you think?
For James, I think he probably has to take this one if he wants to go through.
I mean, because otherwise it's going to put both of his opponents on 2 wins, right? So this is really important.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if he can get one in here, then he's got a little bit of wiggle room. But otherwise, he'll have to.
We got Maya down to 100 chips.
Ooh, and she's all in again.
And she's all in, and we got a lot of the all-ins, fast and furious at this point.
I'm loving it. I'm loving the speed that this is going here. This is great.
So we've got Maya, who is all in and sees a Queen of Hearts for her last 100 chips, getting some protection from J7, and we're gonna flip the cards, and there's hearts. Spikes to 4, but the spades get there.
Oh, and we have the all-in over here as well. Ace, King of Spades versus 3 8s. There's the 8s. It looks like Adestor is going to be knocked out, and Duragor gets his first game.
Moon Cactus
bust on table 1.
Bust on table 1, and Hated, who is chip leading. Even though Moon Cactus was and we got could this be our first qualifier? No. The EMP folds. Gotta fold.
That's right. If Hated takes this game,
will be our first.
He will be our first finalist. That's exciting.
Impressive.
That is exciting.
In a very tough group.
I mean, and as I was saying, Hated is probably the player that is least recognizable from this roster in terms of the Power Up community.
In terms of the Power Up community, but definitely a very strong player.
Definitely.
Again, third place in the Masters group.
Absolutely.
Had, by the way, 23 wins at the $3 level out of 40 games.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot
right?
of wins. Yeah,
That's
no, and it's it's really fantastic to see. Oh, of course, because Hated was a qualifier in the Masters, wasn't he?
Yes.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, I mean, look, just playing super strong today. I mean,
so and that would be impressive as well, right? For one of the Masters players,
definitely to be in the finals,
to come through the final.
I mean, that was one of my favorite parts of this entire promotion was that you're giving the players at the lower stakes an opportunity to take part in the championships, which I feel like is something that PokerStars usually does really well anyway. In terms of like qualifying for EPTs for like small
we try to give everybody a shot.
Yeah,
and we wanted to reward the higher stakes players as well, and we know they're playing tougher games and so on, so they got more qualifying spots.
Yep.
But absolutely, and so I guess that would be. It's like in the PSPC. Mm-hmm. Certainly as we would hope that one of the people who won a pass
definitely
would win.
Yeah.
But you obviously can't predict that stuff, and you would expect like in the 25K event that was going to be tough.
Yeah, right.
And for Clelius to actually come through and win it.
Yeah.
And win it in style.
Yeah.
Actually, played fantastic poker.
Yeah.
And that's what you like to see. We all kind of root for the underdog. We all root for the players who aren't necessarily the most experienced, the best backed or what have you.
Right.
And I think it's really it's for Hated. If Hated does wind up going through, that
there's the deuce.
Impressive.
James is going to take down his game here.
That is super.
Yes!
Not that there's any favoritism here at all. And I'm not sure if anybody heard that scream in the background, but apparently there's a fangirl lurking, maybe outside on is that on the pier?
Yeah,
Did we hear that from the pier?
No, that's from the pub. They're playing darts. They're playing darts.
Okay, yeah.
They're playing darts or something.
Should we talk about the pool, by the way? we played some games of pool.
Earlier today.
And who sank the 8-ball in every single game?
Yeah.
I had 3 different partners.
This guy right here. No.
I had 3 different partners. And I won all 3 games and sank the 8-ball in all 3 games. And with the last shot, you got that on video, didn't you?
That was and I think that's going to be going into a vlog.
I definitely want to see that one.
It was a bank shot. There was no clear shot with the 8-ball, and it was a bank shot off the cushion. Awesome. It was a great shot.
We got to update James's win. We're getting shouted at.
Sorry.
So wow, we've got we got some stuff going on here.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just trying to find our next games. They don't appear to be starting. I'm trying to find James or I Love Your Mom, but they don't seem to be joining their next game yet.
Well, it can take one person, unfortunately.
Right. To hang back because we have to wait for all 3 players to join.
So we've got just to recap a bit. Group B, obviously, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 1-1-1.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to win. So that's coming out of the wire. Group A, everybody's got to win, but the 13 victor has 2.
Yeah.
And of course now we're watching Group C. We're Hated. If Hated can take this one down, we'll go through to the finals. And what many people might have thought was the favorite of that group, Moon Cactus, so far the only player without a win.
Exactly.
Could you predict that?
I know, definitely never would have predicted that.
That's shocking.
Definitely would never have predicted that.
Keep my Moon Cactus alive is Poker Bros. Eva saying, take my energy. She definitely has some fans. Happy to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Happy to see that.
Okay, I'm gonna try and continue to find these players, guys. We still only have the one table open in front of us here. I'm just wondering if maybe some of our champions have decided that they're gonna take a little bit of break. Oh, there we go. We have Group B again. Thank you for the follow, Guy Ritchie. Looks like this one's just about to kick off.
Is that the Guy Ritchie?
It's the real Guy Ritchie. Yeah. Confirmed.
Wow.
Confirmed.
Does Madonna know? I think they're not still together, are they?
I don't think
probably
so.
not. Again, I'm probably going way esoteric now with these references. I did just watch the I don't know why I watched the Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows or whatever.
Oh yeah.
One of the worst movies ever made, I think.
I didn't mind it so much. I mean, I feel like there's been much worse.
I don't know.
Did you like the first one?
I did like the first one.
Okay.
The second one, I don't know. It just the disguises that he was doing just really just.
Oh yeah, that's
he kind of went a bit over the top.
I'm just guessing that maybe we've got James celebrating somewhere.
I think he said he was going to do some tequila shots.
Yeah, he's probably loading up the tequila, taking his sweet time trying to get.
I can attest that he did have a little bit of Dutch courage.
He did.
Just before.
During our pool session, he had a whole half pint, didn't he?
No, he had a whole bottle of cider.
Taking life into his own hands.
Yeah, impressive. So I think it was just kind of he said give him a little bit of liquid courage. I think is how we put it. Tickets. Do people need more tickets? That could be the problem. Because it's Group A we're missing?
Yes. And James says confirm Dutch courage. Brando Baggins, how you doing? Shout out to my boy Brando, the official brand of Brando. How you doing, man? They need to print out more tickets. Strag,
I'm manipulating the digital bits as we speak.
I can't believe
I have to make the bits myself.
I can't believe you guys didn't print out all the tickets beforehand.
Apparently we had a little internal communication mix up.
Only two tickets were printed.
We printed. We need more zeros. We got all the ones. We need more zeros.
How many paper? We need to call Dunder Mifflin and get some. Get some more paper.
Yes.
A couple reams.
So we're trying to get this. So it seems like we need to get the. The tickets should be there now. So for our players, sorry about the miscommunication. We found the zeros to go with the ones.
Good.
We've made more bits to go with the bytes.
Good.
And the
Princess Five Bet likes the Dunder Mifflin reference. Call Michael Scott and get him on the phone. Tell him we need more paper so we can print these. If Neja or Spela is watching either, they'll like that reference.
So James is saying that he is so happy he got at least one win. Would have been too embarrassed. Okay, we just had a result over there.
Oh, I didn't see what the result was.
I didn't see the result either.
Fantastic.
And we have...
Okay, let's get this over here.
The final hand, J7. J7 stopped hated from winning.
From taking a seat. So J7 now has 2.
So J7 has 2. And the crowd goes wild because Moon Cactus is still in it.
Still in. That's right.
Still in it. Massive uphill. What a comeback this would be. Right?
Yeah.
What a she has to win 3. But if anybody can do it.
If anybody can do it, it's Moon Cactus.
I was going to say, if anybody can do it, it'd be Art.
Yeah, that too.
But only against you, right? so since you're not in and Art's not in, unfortunately, that's not working. We got some violence in the chat.
Oh yeah.
It's good. Passions are coming out.
I think Nano King was probably one of the original regs playing Power Up from back in the day.
So did Marcos? Did you make sure you credited all the players with more tickets? Because we're gonna have the same exact situation in all the groups. So we had to make sure that group was it Group A? So I think Larray is saying he doesn't have.
Taylor Ray's got it. Good.
He said he.
Oh, that's my problem.
Oh, so apparently Eva. See, we were trying to blame things on Eva earlier when it wasn't her fault, and here when I'm trying to blame things on Marcos, instead it's Eva's fault.
All right, here we go. JLH Mac has now been found. We have another table to add to our mix here, guys. We were getting really close to seeing our finalists, though.
Wow, this is really it's really a nail biter, isn't it?
It's tight. This is exactly what I had hoped for when we set out here. So many opportunities for some of these players to shut them out, right?
Yeah.
Hated specifically had a really good opportunity
big,
there for a
big
minute.
chip lead.
It's funny how things go like that. JLH Mac in a pot here.
Showing middle pair. And interestingly, the two players left in the pot are the ones exposing cards there, right? So it was the person who folded, the 13 Victor, who played the X-ray.
Yep.
And oh. JLH Mac is bet out. Murray is contemplating what to do, cloning the intel. He wants to see what James is seeing. What's so interesting? I love intel, by the way. It's another controversial card. A lot of people don't like intel.
Yeah.
There's some controversy about when to play intel, right?
Yeah. Pre-flop, post-flop,
you know,
all that.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, say you should play it pre-flop to get the most information possible.
Right.
A lot of other players like to play it on the flop, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I think I'm definitely in that camp as well. Unless your intention is to, like, this is something me and James spoke about a lot. If your intention is to slow down the action, intel is great on the street that you want to slow down the action. So especially when you're out of position, as soon as that intel comes into play, it's so hard to be betting into someone that you can see the next card coming off the top of the deck.
Yeah.
It's just like such critical information.
Yeah.
So if you're ever in a situation where you feel like you'd like to disincentivize people to call your bluffs, or you just want to disincentivize them to continue barreling off on the flop turn river, having that intel in play is always a good one. Yeah. And then knowing how to counter that is also interesting. Making use of precog powers to try and dictate what the next card is always going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
We talked about before about precog.
Right.
What a great term. And that was Doug, I believe, who came up with that term.
Yep.
If I'm correct, one of our instigators of Power Up. So we're still waiting for Group C.
By the way, I wanted to point this one out. Oh no, that's not the right one. There was another nice message up here somewhere.
I'm sure they're all nice messages.
Oh, yeah, they always are. Somebody subscribed and said that we should have Chris on more frequently.
Oh, well, that's nice? Very kind.
Isn't that nice? I believe it was Princess 5Bet, so thank you, Princess 5Bet.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Princess 5Bet pretty much just comes on and then just gives 5.
And then play me 6-card PLO, heads up for roll. What makes you think I'm any good at all at PLO? I'm terrible. I'm a terrible PLO player.
I know what game we're playing tonight.
Now, if we played 5-card double flop,
that
might be a different game.
At my casino, that can probably happen. That can usually happen. In fact, I think James was the one who told me he was playing 13-card PLO with Deuces Wild or something at one point, and that was pretty much like the best game you ever played, because there was always one guy who was really excited about making the nuts with 13 cards, and then he realized that if he didn't have 2 deuces in his hand, he was always the dead.
Yeah.
So they'd get it all in with the nuts, and then they're like, oh, how did you draw out? You're like, because I have the nuts every time. I have 2 deuces. Oops, sorry guys. We got some action over here from I Love Your Mom.
Did we get the? I think Kamaya's saying that she's in. We're just waiting for Jay and Hated. And hey, we got it. So we got all three matches now.
That's all right, guys. There wasn't too much delay in service.
Actually, I have to say, I was pretty nervous. We talked about this at lunch. I was really nervous. I said, this has got a recipe for disaster written all over it. So many things could go wrong here. Somebody could not show up. We've had a few glitches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glitches. There might be a power call glitch at some point. I don't know.
Controversial.
It could be. Anyway, but they're glitches, and yet I think it's gone pretty smooth.
I think so too. We're definitely seeing. We're definitely getting what we need here.
Anuj wants to see Strag stream Play Money Power Up from the Isle of Man. Not happening. Not happening. I think at one point Nick offered to do a session review of me playing Play Money Power Up.
Yeah.
And that's not happening either. I don't. Those who can do. Those who can't do development. That's the way I look at it anyway. And
those who can't play Power Up. No, those who.
By the way, we did say we're going to have a 15-minute break.
Yep.
For the players after the semifinals, for those who make the final.
Yep.
We're going to give you guys a 15-minute break while we have to do some back-end stuff, set things up, give people the credit of the right tickets, and also because we think this is probably pretty intense. We've been streaming. We've been live for over an hour now, hour and 15 minutes.
Yep.
So I'm sure that the players are. We'll still be on air. Don't worry about that. I'm not going to shut up. You're not going to shut up. We're going to keep talking. We'll talk more about bad movies or something.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure we'll figure something out. Well, maybe why don't we give something away?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we can give something away?
Yeah. I think we can do a giveaway. Okay, if you guys are in the chat and you want free stuff,
who wants free stuff?
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
If you want free stuff, spam Murray. How about that?
Okay, that's right.
If you want free stuff,
and if you're not subbed and you don't have the Murray badge, sub now.
There you go.
Random Baggins, it doesn't count unless you have emotes. I'm afraid you have to sub.
There's some spam.
OP Poker James, that doesn't count.
Princess 5bet, I'll PayPal you $2 if you rig the game for James. There is no amount of money you can PayPal me that I will rig the game for James.
I have to say, in terms of integrity, Strag is pretty much up here. There were certain pieces of information that James was not privy to because we didn't want to give him an unfair advantage. For example, the release of Syphon.
That's very true.
And throughout the day, he was selectively choosing the words and intentionally directing James away from screens that actually had Syphon on them, etc. So no, that's not going to work.
Okay, we've got quite a lot of Murrays in the chat. You know what? Okay, guys, stick around for the break.
Yep.
After all of our matches are done in the semifinals, we're going to do a giveaway.
We're going to do a giveaway, guys. Right.
Yeah. How about should I tease what I think I want to give away?
Well, but is it going to be like the time that you teased and then it got better, or is it going to be like the time that you teased and it's going to be exactly what you're teasing?
In this case, it's going to be exactly. It's going to be exactly. I think.
Okay.
So we won't say it just yet. We won't say it just yet.
Okay.
Chair giveaway cover. You like? This is not my chair, by the way. This is not my chair. I don't know if you guys can see.
This is an official Overwatch branded diva chair.
It is the giant pink chair, and just wow.
I think it looks great on this backdrop, though.
I look. First of all, wow, what a backdrop, right? I can't believe you guys got this thing printed out in such detail, in such scale, in such a short time period. Amazing, Eva. She managed that somehow.
Yep.
Was gluing and pasting and getting everything together.
That's right.
And we have this amazing backdrop now. Maybe we should give away the backdrop. No, we probably can't give away the backdrop. We want to use that again, right? But
Princess 5bet says Cham spam door 123 for door giveaway. Yes, we can confirm we are giving away power up doors.
Yes, more doors, please.
More doors.
So we lost. I'm sorry. We've lost somebody.
We've lost somebody. Who would we have lost on that table?
We lost Dodagor.
Dodagor, thank you very much. So, in Dodagor's group,
this is the group where nobody could actually close it out in this game.
Okay,
this is the group where it's one win apiece. So Dodagor will not be getting win number 2.
You know what, in that case, actually, I'm gonna flip over here to this table so we can watch the action. This one is a big decider, right?
Yes.
So
this is
if Victor takes it, he's the victor. See what I did there? And
wow. I'm afraid that my terrible dad humor, as my wife called it, my dad humor apparently is rubbing off. And I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to blame the pink chair as well, because I think that's part of it.
Ava says, yeah, let's auction off Strag's shirt.
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
That's one of your favorites, isn't it?
This is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
For those who know me or have ever played poker with me, I'm quite known for wearing quite colorful poker-related shirts. I have a lot of them. I'm embarrassed to say how many I have.
Well, in that case, you'll have no problem auctioning it off.
But I have every problem because this is actually one of my more expensive ones.
Okay.
It's quite well made. It's Italian, believe it or not.
Nice.
Very high quality.
Oh, here you go, guys. Over here.
Full house for a Duster. 10-5, the old 5 and dime.
I believe that was a double up.
It was.
Victor's winning a pot over here as well. It looks well made. I mean, the Italians are known for their poker.
Well, you can see it's lined. It's got fancy buttons, all that stuff.
James actually, I was going to present you with a bottle of whiskey today to say thank you for coming to join us, but then we realized that we wouldn't be able to take it back with you on the plane.
I will not.
So then James's suggestion was we should go to this really weird shirt store that's next to my house and buy you a shirt from there. But we weren't really sure what we would go with. And I said to James, it's a bit weird that we buy him clothes unless it's something that is distinctly Strag. And I feel like you've got a lot of hats.
I do have a lot of hats. I do have a lot of shirts.
So what I decided instead is I'm going to buy you an entire bottle of whiskey, but you have to drink it this evening after the stream.
You don't want that. You really don't want that. I can tell you that right now. And if it was good whiskey, believe me, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I do like a really nice whiskey. I'm getting out of line. Why am I getting out of line?
You would be.
I would be. Okay, I would be getting out of line. Okay. Yes, I would be. It's whiskey drunk is not. It's a special kind of drunk.
It is. Yeah. I mean, like, there's champagne drunk, which is, makes you all,
It's tequila drunk.
Tequila drunk is not where you want to be.
No, nobody wants tequila drunk.
I'm not even that worried about tequila drunk. I'm more worried about tequila hangover, to be honest. I'm getting too old for that kind of shit.
Unfortunately, I don't know that I should be drinking on stream anyway, so that's not going to
happen.
Oh
no, it was going to be.
No, some people are suggesting that I should do this on. Who is this Chris guy? Nobody really knows.
Don for J Carver, how you doing, man? This is Chris Straghalis, head of poker products at PokerStars.
Princess 5Bet. I've played live poker with Nick once, and I'm gonna remember that I owned you. I think I slow played a set and you dumped your entire stack into me.
Do you know what? I have no memory.
I'm sure it's one of those things.
I actually don't have a memory of this, to be honest.
I have every memory. We have a final result.
Adestor
Adestor took down Group B.
Yep.
So sorry, didn't take down Group B. Took down the game in Group B. Yep. Adestor, who was my pick in that group, by the way, as I might recall.
No, but I don't jokingly don't remember that. I really don't remember that.
But I was saying this to a friend of mine the other day. I said, people come up to me and say, "You remember that hand where you beat me?" And it's like, nah, I don't remember that at all, because you don't remember the hands. Yeah. That other people remember. I do remember that I did outplay you.
Nice. Are you sure it wasn't James?
I'm positive. As I recall, James played really, really tight. Eva was having fun. She was our fun player.
All right, we're just waiting on Group B again to join us.
That was my first game ever live.
I thought
that was her first ever live poker experience.
It looks like we got some Owens here.
And we do. We have a
JLH Matt going bust with bottom pair here.
Lorray
getting a win. If Lorray picks this up, he will be one away from being one of our finalists.
That's unfortunate, though, in that the 13 victor could close out the group.
He could close it. He could be our first finalist.
He's currently chip lead, and there's an all-in, or not an all-in, but almost all-in. All but all-in.
Is that the new way?
Well, I mean, all but one is definitely...
Yeah.
And I guess there's all bar one. Is that chain of
all bar? We actually have one here in Brighton. Yeah.
So all but one. So we got Lorray. Lorray has a fan in James, clearly, because James does not want the 13 victor to close it out. So James has turned into a big fan of Lorray.
I think we're all big fans of Lorray, though. To be fair, I think Lorray has been one of our really cool members. In fact, he's got his own introduction music, like many of our regulars do. It's one of my favorites. It's Ava's favorite too.
I thought mine was your favorite.
That's true. This is.
I didn't even get that. How did I not get my intro music?
What, today?
Today? When you did the big reveal, your mystery.
Here's the problem with using a different setup. I usually have a little soundboard that I make reference.
That's fair enough. But now everybody will know why you can leave your hat on. Now right. Everybody knows.
Yeah, that's it.
Because hopefully, you can.
Is this a fedora?
This is a fedora. Okay. This is a proper fedora.
Yeah.
This is a. I'm not going to take it off because it'll show how messy my hair is. And not that I'm vain or anything. But.
All right, here it is, guys. This is the heads-up match that everyone wants to see. Lorray versus Victor. Lorray.
We lost one on the other table.
Oh, we did indeed. Thank you very much. Sorry for missing stuff here, guys.
So Hated, who was one of the players who could close out the Moon Cactus and Moon Cactus all in but one, and no.
Ooh, this is good. This is the situation that James narrowly avoided last game. Moon Cactus has to go on a 3 win streak here to actually take her spot.
But J7 can.
Ooh, we have an all in up here too. Victor has a decision to make about this call. If he makes the call and he wins, he will be...
No, he won't be champion.
Not quite.
But it will be a massive favorite.
He'll be 100 chips away from championship.
Well, we've got Maya pulling out all the stops on the other table.
What if he made a huge hero call here? That would be a pretty special
I would love to see
That would be
a hero call for the win, but we shouldn't influence the action.
No.
Obviously, the player should make the action.
You're quite right.
That he or she thinks is appropriate.
I'm so used to playing talking on delay. That's the thing.
Well, it is. Oh, Anuj, what are you doing? He's putting links. that is more than likely
he makes the call.
a picture, and 9-8-9. Oh, 9-5.
The hero call no good, unfortunately.
Oh.
I hope we didn't influence the action in that situation.
No,
so,
I'm sure we didn't.
So who?
So
Lorray takes that.
Lorray takes that down, and that which makes James very happy.
Yep.
And it goes 2-2-1. So Lorray and the 13 Victor each have 2 wins. James is still alive. The crowd goes wild. They're very happy to see that the person who is committed to putting his winnings back into the community is still in. He's literally buying fans.
Here at OP Poker, we like to when we spend money, we like to buy fans.
I have the Tiger. Should that be if James comes back? Should that be his intro? Because Princess 5-bet is Mac the Knife. It should be. Come on, Mac the Knife, right?
Return of the Mac. All right, guys, we have all the games up here. Sorry, let me focus that sound for you. Okay.
All right, so we've got all 3 matches back.
So we got to be getting close now. We've got to be getting close. This is the heads-up match that
there was James. I don't know if you saw that James just played a very interesting Syphon against the 13 Victor, and really made a big switch in the power or the energy. Sorry, the energy. Yeah,
the energy differential.
At least I didn't say mana or points.
Points. Who says points?
I don't know. Who says points these days?
But this is the this is
James has gone all in.
Oh, this is a big match here for Moon Cactus.
And the 13 Victor.
Oops.
Deploys, calls, Ace Jack. Oh, a set of 8s.
Oh,
full.
James.
And James. That's going to be it for James.
And that's it for James. James has exited the championships.
He's no longer.
Oh,
no longer.
Commiserations to James. That is brutal. That is so bad for the community. Oh, we have an all in here too.
King 4.
Moon Cactus.
Moon Cactus. Just won a massive pot.
Just runs the trips. She actually gets it in there with, I believe, it was a pair and a flush draw, or at least a flush draw on the flop.
Yes.
And then either runs out the trips.
J7's gone all but in. All but in.
All but in sounds good.
I kind of like that one.
All but in.
All but in.
I feel like that could be the name of some sort of like fantasy land. Welcome to All but in.
That could be the name of some kind of adult film.
I
probably shouldn't have said that.
I wasn't going to go there.
I said I wasn't going to say anything like that on stream.
The glory of live stream. It's fine.
I almost tried to stop myself there as well. Didn't manage.
Can't wait for that bottle of whiskey later. I'm telling you.
You know what? I think I might need it now. I might be looking for a new job after this.
No, you're doing fine.
Do you need any additional
staff members?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the 8. There's the 8.
Oh my!
There's the 8. That was Moon Cactus's first game right there.
Getting out. So every single semifinalist has won a game. Maya is the first of her. Oh no! What happened there? I thought that was her winning.
No. She he managed to river the straight.
I missed that. I'm sorry. Wow.
He gutted up. I was gonna say that was Moon Cactus's first game that she had to win.
Oh, that is.
She makes the call. Ace 9, King Jack. That's looking good. And there you go. There you go. That's the one you wanted. Oh my gosh, Moon Cactus straight back in there. Congratulations, Moon Cactus, on that win. I'm so glad to see her getting back in here. That means she's got a little bit of an uphill struggle to make here.
Well, it would have been hugely surprising for her not to get a win, especially when that was the fifth game.
I think today as well she's played really well. It just come down to those pre-flop all-ins.
Well, I mean that first match, right? Well, she was heads up twice in the first 2 games.
Yep.
And lost both of them as a chip leader.
Right.
And just losing some flips. But we got to huge blind levels, 400, 800 in the first game. So yeah, this is quite the turnaround. Boy, they're right back at it.
They're straight back in it. These guys are not messing about. They're on to their next game.
Everybody's in the flow, loving it. And obviously we have Lorray and the 13 Victor playing a power-up match for $1,000.
$1,000.
The winner of that match is guaranteed $1,000. So you can call this the most valuable power-up game ever played until we play the next.
Until we play the next one. Until we play the finals. Yeah, I suppose you could. I mean, what's interesting here as well is, I mean, this was a sequence of games and a sequence of leaderboards that were all played highest stakes $15.
Yes.
So a spike of $1,000 or $3,000 is a huge chunk of
how long did it take you to get to your first $1,000?
Exactly.
Right?
So yeah, in our original bankroll challenge, it turned 30 into 1K. I think. Well, because it was all on stream, it took several months. But even after we had simplified
how many games was it?
Oh, actually, that's a good question. I think it was around. It must have been close to 1,000 games. It works out at almost $1 a game, something like that.
And you were playing at lower stakes for a lot of
Yes, right. Yeah, we the first time around it took longer as well because we started playing the third because we were spinning the bankroll from 30.
All right.
The second time around it was substantially faster because we could play any stake we wanted.
Just 7 deuce. So 13 Victor picks up a few chips. By the way, 13 Victor, the top of the Masters leaderboard.
That's right. I think he's performed really, really well today.
I think all 3 players, the 13 Victor, Dodo Gore, and Hated, have all done really, really well.
They were crushing it, Syphon.
Right?
Here he is.
Oh, James has done the walk of shame. He's getting hugs of commiseration.
I mean, you know,
he's got a tear. There's a tear rolling down.
A single tear rolls
down
his face.
Right?
Yeah. I can finally look at the screen now.
What did you think of Syphon?
I had no idea how to play it until right at the last hand. I'd figured out how to do it, and it still screwed me over.
Yeah, you played a very timely Syphon, I thought, and put your opponent at a big energy disadvantage.
He had the intel out, and he had just 1 power left.
Yeah.
And I used Syphon to make sure he couldn't do a 5-point move, like a upgrade or a reload.
Yeah.
So even if he knows the next card, he can't do much about it. And then I hit 2 pair, and I thought, yeah, life's good.
And he had a set.
Yeah.
Well, you leveled yourself with that one, I think.
Oh.
Nothing you could do there. It's a tough. Very, very well done, though. Very well done.
I love your mom getting busted here by Dodo Gore.
Is that what's going on?
And it's heads up Dodo Gore versus Adestor.
So Adestor can go through.
He can do it if he makes a comeback.
So, but Dodo Gore, another one of our Masters players. These guys are really making an impressive showing as a group.
Definitely.
Between them having 5 wins right now.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. It's a tough field too. It's about as tough as it gets.
Well, I think we can safely say there's not been a tougher power-up field.
There's never been a tougher power-up championship ever. This is the toughest championship field I've ever seen. Ooh, big pot here, Bruin.
So we have an interesting hand going on here between the 13 Victor and Larray. And the 13 Victor takes it down. That's going to give him quite a big chip lead. 3-1 chip lead.
3-1 chip lead here. This is looking really good for Victor right now.
It's
can Victor be the first one?
Of course, just 1 double up, and Larray's right back in it. So
Lucas says, when did this game start on PokerStars?
October 2017.
October 2000, which is around the same time that we started OP Poker as well. I think we started November of that year, maybe. October 30th was the Ava.
Wow.
I think that was the day that Ava.
I think we were live for Play Money a bit before that, but I think the first real money, and of course, I'm sure Marcos and Neil will correct me if I'm not correct.
Yep.
Because my memory isn't as old. And it looks like Moon Cactus has taken a massive hit.
Oops, down here. Excuse me.
And she's on the kill stack, 187.
Uh-oh. She's come back from a similar short stack before. Oh, there you go. You've seen that animation again, guys. That's Syphon. That's the new card that will be released after the championship here. Just trying to keep an eye on the other tables as they happen here, guys, because obviously there's some really big deciders up here, top left and right.
Yes, indeed. There's some $1,000 matches, but we do have the crowd favorite, or one of the crowd favorites, I should say, because there's quite a few. Larray's has had his fans as well. I think 13 Victor has as well.
Oh man, you got to feel tense if you're Victor right now. You got to feel.
I imagine the sweat that's going on right now, right?
Yep, yeah. I mean, when you got the chip lead, but you know in Power Up how quickly that can turn around if you lose a couple flips, especially as the blind starts.
And here we go. We see. And that's not a good flop for Maya.
That's a straight.
That is a straight.
Maya doubling up here.
Maya
She's still
somehow once again running pure.
Oh wait! Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I thought I missed the hearts. Push. All right, guys. It looks like Victor's really got Larray down here.
This could be our first finalist, 13 Victor.
Lucas, we think it was October 2017. I think was our risk
October 2017.
Yep.
October 17th.
17, yes.
That ever since game hasn't been taken down.
Mm-hmm.
So our statistician has informed us that I'm correct. It was October 2017. Thank you, statistician.
All right, Larray is really on the ropes here, but he has managed to get some more energy and a couple more powers behind him as well. So making a comeback from here is definitely a possibility.
But he's way down on chips.
He is.
300. 150, 300.
I mean, if you're Larray in this spot, the best thing that you can do is get a double up without having to spend any energy. And then you can have the energy for a bigger pot that's going to be a little bit more critical. Here you go. It's all in.
All in.
This could be it.
Victor is playing
his scanner.
He saw the intel.
Yep.
Victor's playing the scanner.
I believe Larray is using the intel in this case to try and find a low card that isn't going to improve Victor's hand. He makes the call. Jack 6 versus Queen 8. There's a 6.
And that's
it.
That's going to do it, isn't it?
That's it. Victor, congratulations.
13 Victor.
You are our first finalist.
Top of the Masters leaderboard.
Ladies and gentlemen, Victor just won $1,000, a very minimum of $3,000. Sorry, $1,000. He will be playing for $3,000.
And he did it playing the $3.
Playing the $3.
Playing the $3. That's wow.
That's it.
And we finished on the other one.
And we lost somebody else here as well. Where is our replayer? Adestor, I believe, won it.
Is that Adestor? That means that group is over as well.
Okay, congratulations to Adestor as well. That was the last hand, correct? Yeah.
That is the last hand.
All right, so congratulations. The Adestor also just
So completed. For those who didn't see it, unfortunately, we can kind of recap the action for you.
Yeah.
It was, let me just scroll back up again. So we had a raise pre-flop from Dodogor, and Adestor called a flop of King 9-5 Rainbow. Check from Adestor. Dodogor bets 360. Adestor played Scanner, discarded them, played X-Ray, exposed the 6 of diamonds from Dodogor, and Adestor went all in. Dodogor cloned the X-Ray, played Reload, redrawed both of his whole cards, played X-Ray, saw the 5 of clubs, so saw a pair, and then called all in. And the run out came Jack of Diamonds, 10 of Hearts, and Adestor had flopped the 2 pair with the 9-5. Dodogor, when he did his blind reload, managed to pick up top pair.
Easy game.
So reload 2 is OP, but unfortunately, the 9-5 from Adestor was good enough and has qualified him to the finals. So we have 2 of our finalists now.
That's right, 2 finalists. So Adestor and Victor will be going into the finals, and they are both guaranteed at least $1,000 US right now.
And again, a reminder: Adestor was 3rd place on our Grandmasters list. And Adestor also, just a reminder, not only did he finish 3rd in the Grandmasters, finished 6th in the Masters.
That's right. I mean, a great showing all around.
And the person who had the most total overall points between the Masters and Grandmasters,
I mean, that says a lot.
With 2,815 points.
It's amazing.
Huge accomplishment.
Yeah, that is
actually got more points in the Masters, but that's almost shows how much tougher the Masters was.
Yep.
Just really impressive.
You definitely. Oh, Moon Cactus has made a comeback here. Actually, but now having actually closer to 6-ish big blinds now, or even 7. Definitely in with a real shot. If she could find a hand here, she could be back in, and she could hold out at least for 1 game more.
That would be impressive, right?
I mean, I'm really hoping Moon Cactus does it here, because that means that we're going to be 2-2-2, and then it's going to be winner take all for the $1,000.
That would be awesome.
Moon Cactus needs to win this game in order to make it 2-2-2. If Hated wins this game, he will be our 3rd finalist. Oh, here we go. This is it. There's no way Hated can fold. He makes the call. Jack 8. He's actually locked up here. Could be a chop.
Nope.
It looks like the Queen's going to take it. Hated is our last finalist.
So that is it. And 2 of our 3 finalists have come from the Masters.
2 of our 3 finalists have come from the Masters.
Wow.
That is awesome.
All right. So for our finalists, Hated, Adestor, and 13 Victor, we're going to give you a 15-minute break.
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to call it. Let's call it. You want to call it just straight up on the half hour then?
Sure. Why not?
So we'll do that. So it's 8:30 UK time.
Yep.
Wherever you are.
Yep.
It's basically 18 minutes from now, so we're going to be a little bit longer.
Yep.
While we get everything set up, we get the players credited with their tickets. And remember, this is going to be 1 game one game for another $2 grand. Right?
One game final.
They're all guaranteed 1,000.
Yep.
And the winner's going to get $2K.
I mean, honestly, this stream has gone really, really smoothly. I feel like there was a lot of drama in these games. I mean, even just following it, just flipping. I know we missed a couple of the spots, guys. Obviously, there's a lot going on. If you guys have any suggestions about how we could have done the Power Up Championships better as well, make sure you put that in your feedback as well on Discord, etc. Because in the future, if we do any more like this, it would be fantastic to hear back from you guys about what you want to see or what you would have liked to have seen more of, or if you would have liked a different structure or anything like that.
We did debate about whether we should run each group individually and be able to focus on all the games within a group. I think the problem with that is, you can see we've already been on for 2 hours almost. We'll be 2 hours by the time we start. It's quite a long time. And that you could obviously imagine that it would have been a bit longer. It turned out that all 3 groups basically ended at around the same time. They all played a similar number of games, 6, and 5 games. But at the same time, and that looks like the giveaway spam is starting.
Feedback. Finals need more art. Thank you.
Finals need more art. I couldn't agree more, Jack Blackbauer. And we wanted obviously a final with Nick and Art, and it would have had to have ended on a flip.
Of course, that
Nick would lose. You would have to imagine. But anyway, let's get to our giveaway.
Okay, let's talk giveaway, guys. If you've been waiting for the giveaway, we're going to do that now. We're going to do that in the interim between now and about 15 minutes from now when we're going to run the final. So how are we going to do this?
I think we first have to say what the giveaway is, because that kind of the mechanism of how we're going to do it. There's going to be a command.
Oh, I see. Right.
There's going to be a command you're going to give in the chat.
Yep.
And that command relates directly to what we're giving away.
Okay. Sell it. I want to see it.
You want to see it? Okay. So some of you may have seen, and there she is in the chat. GJ Reggie.
The one and only, guys. If you don't follow GJ Reggie, go and follow her right now. She's a fantastic streamer.
Who is modeling our lovely Power Up shirt. That's not what you're going to... The one I'm also wearing...
It's never looked better.
It doesn't look as good on me.
It's never looked better.
Obviously, as it looks on GJ Reggie. But there was something else that she got that I think is actually really cool. And I love these kind of things. It's a Power Up card protector.
Right. I think the OP Poker team might have received one of these as well at some stage when we were just starting out our journey around November of last year.
Yes. I think I gave you guys some at the very beginning.
Yep.
But anyway, so what we want you to do, is type command coin.
Exclamation mark coin.
Exclamation mark coin.
Yep.
The final is going to be at 1/2 so in 15 minutes for Roger.
Yep.
So in 15 minutes. So type command coin in the chat. That will opt you in. Do not do it more than once.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You only need to do it once.
Yep.
And our statistician will let us know. Our fabulous statistician, the amazing Eva.
Yep.
Will let us know. We're going to give it. Thank you, James. James,
just like this.
James has just brought it in, and hopefully you guys can see that.
You got to get closer.
Get a little bit closer.
There you go.
Yeah, and I love the shape of this. It says Power Up on both sides. You can see that this has had some use.
It's the weight. The weight is the best.
And it's got a nice heft to it, right? It's the shape of the Power Up table as well.
Hexagons, yeah.
The hexagon.
It's very on brand.
So. Marcos, no, you cannot enter the draw. Jack Blackbauer.
They can all do it.
Jack Blackbauer is a comedian.
We can reset
so
it.
So for those, what's that?
You can just ignore them in the race.
We're not doing a race. We're doing something different. But
we can spin again if they.
So anyway, so that's what that's. It's a pretty cool coin.
Yeah.
Pretty cool coin.
It's got weight to it, guys. It's got weight to it.
It's very nice.
This one's mine.
That one is yours.
I'm not giving this one.
No. We're not giving that one away. I have brand new ones back at the office. We'll get them sent out very, very quickly.
Tony, I wish I could give you some extra love for being extra luck for being a sub and a mod, but unfortunately,
that's true.
It's got to be straight.
Yeah. This is a. Anuj has one. Anuj won one as well in the past.
It came at great expense as well. Unfortunately, as a result of the corrupt postal service.
That's that's a shame. Okay, how much longer do we want to give this? Just a few seconds more, right? We don't want to wait. We want to do the giveaway fairly soon. So we give it just maybe another 30 seconds, right? Something like that.
What should we leave it till? Should we leave it till 20 past? I mean, I don't know. Okay, everyone, if you haven't done it yet, I tell you what, we'll give you guys until 20 past. Let's just call that a nice even number. And then if you guys haven't done so already, or if you didn't understand what we had just said, if you'd like to get your hands on one of those cool Power Up card protectors, the little coin that Strag was just showing off, type !coin in the chat to be in for a chance. Do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. Bonsai, bonsai.
And then once the winner will obviously be contacted. Our lovely statistician,
Ava.
I always forget. Is it Ava or Eva? It's Ava, right? Ava.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting, I'm just looking to see if we have any more questions. I think this is one that I left off because I think it kind of deserves a little bit of a broader explanation. But I know this is one that a lot of people joining and a lot of people who are already currently members have asked. Do you anticipate that Power Up could become more of an esport, and what do you think that would entail? To you, what makes an esport an esport is probably a good question. First of all.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's.
I mean, because it theoretically is already sort of an esport, you know.
I mean, poker itself, you could say, is an esport.
Well, right? I mean, so there's a debate about whether or not poker is a sport in the first place, anyway. But
well, I obviously am going to fall in the camp of I think absolutely poker is a sport.
Me too,
I think it's a mind sport.
Yep.
Anybody who's played any kind of tournament poker, or especially played live tournament poker. The mental acuity and agility and what's needed. I've taught a lot of classes as part of a kind of within the company. I've done inductions and I actually have held a special class about basically the mindset of poker and what you have to do to prepare.
Right.
And the entire class, I didn't even talk at all about poker strategy. I talked about mentally preparing, what clothes you should wear, how your mental attitude should be, what you should eat before, and you should rest, and so on. And how can it not be a sport if you need that kind of preparation?
Right, yeah.
And Power Up, to me, it is the most. I mean, I'm obviously going to be a little bit biased here, but I don't think I'm being wrong in saying it's insanely skillful.
Yeah, it's by far the most skilled format of. I mean, so the only debate that people have there is is it really poker? I mean, of course it's real poker. We're still playing Texas Hold'em, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But it's by far the most skilled format of poker. I think that's on PokerStars right now.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that was probably the biggest surprise for me was how many people went, "That's not poker," because there's a whole generation of players today that to them, poker is no limit Hold'em.
Yeah.
Not even Texas Hold'em, because Texas Hold'em couldn't encompass limit, it couldn't encompass pot limit.
Yeah.
But to them, it's literally just no limit Hold'em, and that's. That was kind of eye-opening to me because there was a lot of people when Power Up first came out that were quite negative about it, saying this isn't really poker. A lot of people said it was very luck oriented, and obviously anybody who's played it can say that that's absolutely not the case. Yeah. It's very, very skillful. The final table is today. The final table will be in 10 minutes. Anyway, so yes, I do think Power Up can become an esport. Yeah. It's not going to happen overnight. Clearly, it takes time. It takes effort. Anyway, before we talk about somebody's asking what do we think the winner is going to be. There is no deals allowed, by the way, since this is funded by PokerStars. We won't allow deals. Everybody's guaranteed $1,000, so we don't need that. But we are ready to do the drawing. It is 20 past.
Right, it is 20 past. Thank you.
So our fabulous statistician, Ava, can you please roll
the dice
and let us know who's won?
Last Gambit.
No way.
Gambit.
No way.
Wow.
No way. No way.
Has he received one?
No way.
He did actually win before for the 3 EMPs.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that I did send him a coin as part of that package. That doesn't mean I'm not going to send him another one.
Okay. Well,
but you know what I'm going to do?
Okay.
Guess you know what I'm going to do.
What are you going to do?
We're going to do another one.
We're going to do another one.
All right?
Okay,
We're going to do another one. How about that? All right? All right?
All right. Guys, we're going to give away another coin protector here. If you would like to take part in the next draw, then...
I can just roll it again.
Oh, an artist saying there was no coin. You know what? I already said it.
Okay, 3.
I don't care. We're doing it again. And here's another one.
1.
The winner is...
That Northern Monkey.
That Northern Monkey.
Do you know what? He's one of our newer members on our Discord, and I feel like he's really deserving of that as well.
The final overlay is on Friday.
The final overlay.
So we had 2 winners, Tony for Warriors. We had Last Gambit, a.k.a. Art. And
I can't believe he won. That's so cool.
That Northern Monkey, which is a great name, by the way. Absolutely love that name. That's awesome. And really, really, really happy. So if you're on Discord, actually, that Northern Monkey, if you can if you can just DM me, Art, I already have your details from before. Don't need them again. That Northern Monkey, if you could just DM me, I'm Strag on the OP Poker Discord. Just DM me your address, please, and I'll get that out to you on Monday. Okay?
Awesome.
And glad we had a little drama there. That's okay. I'm glad Art won something.
I'm just gonna say right now, Art. I know we've had our differences, but I secretly love you. I see, and everything.
How could you not?
Yeah, exactly. And everything that you've done for our community. You know, sometimes we say things, you know, in
jest,
and also in the heat of the moment. But it's fantastic. That's
one of my favorite things is to see Art tilt you.
I know.
It's one of my favorite things.
Exactly.
I just love the incoming tilt. It's just like it's a wonderful thing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I did just update. Don for Jay Carver. Thank you for the sub, my man. That's really kind of you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for. I'll tell you what we're gonna do instead, guys. We're gonna bring this over to table 1 instead. There we go. So as you can see here, guys, I have updated the overlay. Thank you very much, Ava, for making that wonderful overlay. You can see our finalists, the Victor, Adestor, and Hated. I have to get rid of the numbers. Thank you, Ava.
Yes, especially that spurious 2.
Especially the random 2. Nope.
So just a reminder, again, we talked about this earlier. The only players to amass points on every day were JLH Mac and Doter Gore. They earned points towards the leaderboard on all 5 days that they could. Moon Cactus and I Love Your Mom, the only 2 players to play all their games on the very first day.
Yep.
Total players who qualify for both leaderboards, 42 players qualified for both leaderboards. 129 players qualified for the Grandmasters, 776 for the Masters. So think about that. 776 players qualified for the Masters. Now, not everybody actually wanted to play a game, right? Some people obviously qualified, didn't wind up playing. Not everybody played 40 games. Like you yourself didn't play 40 games, right? For the Masters. Yet, you know, there were a lot of games played. Almost 3,000 games played for the Grandmasters in terms of players who qualified and played. 12,000 games played for the Masters.
Wow.
For those players.
12,000 games total?
12,291 games played for the Masters only. And really, you know, like I said, 2 of our 3 finalists coming from. I actually didn't think that would happen.
Yeah, no,
but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. And I mean, obviously, because they had to go through quite a minefield. You know, a lot of players, over 700 players to get through, and managed to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really happy to see that personally.
I think that the decision to have six from GM and then 3 from M is really, really cool. And also, like you said, they've turned up here and they've performed they've performed as well, if not better, than our Grandmasters as well. They're really
certainly better because there's 2 of them in the final.
Absolutely, yeah.
2 out of 3,
yeah,
only 1 out of 6 from the Grandmasters.
So
the Grandmasters got pretty owned, right? You might have to say that.
I mean, James in particular, of course.
No, poor James. Poor James,
and
he's gutted. He's gutted.
Poor community as well, of course, because it would have been fantastic to have given that money away back to the community.
So a couple shots, by the way. Lorray, I didn't think we mentioned this before. Lorray, the one person, he only played 39 of the 40 games. Didn't even play the 40th game.
And one of the funny things was he would have come 3rd on the leaderboard had he played that additional game. And
even just playing a $7 game and finishing 3rd would have been enough.
Yep.
Because he tied with actually Adestor for 3rd. They actually had the exact same number of points.
Yeah.
So yes, he would have actually, just finishing 3rd in the $7 game, playing one more game, he would have actually come out right there. Of course, there was no extra money or extra privilege for that, but just an interesting standpoint. Another really interesting one, I mentioned earlier that Adestor played 5 of his games at the lower stake in the Grandmasters. Just as interestingly, in the Masters, the 13 Victor, 13 Victor played 2 games at the $1 level.
Wow.
Won them both.
I mean, you know, those wins, they you know, they really add up, right? I mean, what's really interesting to me is how close it came in the Grandmasters in particular, and I feel like maybe you need to make the decision just to play all the high stakes games.
I think you know, we were talking. There was a lot of talk about that. I think that was the right move.
Right.
And by the way, that also makes the 13 Victor the person with the most outright wins. 23 wins at the $3 level, 2 wins at the $1. 25 out of 40 games. That's an insane number.
That's insane. I mean, so especially when we first started streaming on OP Poker, we were talking a lot about like what was a good win rate. And when we started out, the games were so ridiculously soft that we were kind of, you know, we were having insane, you know, ROIs, you know, it's like through the roof. And then sort of as things settled down and players became, and we were educating people as well, of course, on stream as well to become better players, etc. I think winning as many games as you were losing is just about almost sustainable, and that was almost, you know, like if you were really out of depth, about 50% of the games. And so to win 25 of 40 is just
to win 25 of 40 in the current environment, right, is quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, it's insane.
Now let's talk about the three players. Who's your pick?
Ooh. Do you know what? I'm going to have to go with Victor just because he's probably been a member of our community for the longest, and I feel like he's been a really strong contender at the highest stakes basically since the game's inception. Adestor and, I mean, again, Adestor and Hated here, these guys might actually be, you know, completely crushing at the lower stakes. For the most part, on OP Poker, we stay towards the 7s and the 15s. So it might be a case of that I just haven't come across them that often because we're usually playing higher. So, you know, I don't want to discount them for that either, but I think the Victor's got to be my pick just because I'd like to rep for the community. I think Adestor might have just joined our community, by the way. So if you're watching this, thank you for joining as well. But I have to go with the OG on this one. I have to go for Victor.
So Lorray is in the chat, and Lorray is touting Victor for the win. Says a tough opponent. Lorray would know.
Yep.
Right. Myself, I have to go with Adestor because that's one of my picks from the originals.
Right. Yep.
That's made it through. So of course I can't stop now, can I?
Exactly.
And of course, nobody managed to change their avatar to Murray Horsepark either. So I can be bought if somebody wants to change their avatar. That's the only way. All you're gonna earn is my rooting power.
The rooting power.
And we can see how much that's worth.
But you'll also incur the wrath of Ava because then her graphics will be completely wrong. Because
I probably don't want to do that.
So okay, like I'm just gonna put it this way, guys. Strag's rooting power, Ava's wrath.
Yeah. I don't want the wrath of Ava.
Andreas Crowley, how you doing, man? Yes, it is final 3 already. It will be in about 1 minute's time. It's almost kickoff time, guys. I'm gonna keep trying to hit refresh here. I'm hoping that we're not missing any of the game. I would love to catch all of it from the very start.
No. Our finalists, please, guys, getting ready to join. We did say half past. We got 1 minute.
Yep.
Or just about 1 minute.
Yep.
Hopefully, you guys have all taken the time to have a break, refresh yourselves, have a shot of no, not a shot of tequila. James is off
crying. Well, he's actually on the tequila, and that's fine now.
Okay, well he can be on the tequila.
But yeah,
really, best of luck to everyone,
guys. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for everyone who took part in this promotion. To see Power Up played in this way is just so awesome for me. It's awesome to see the culmination of a year's work. And we're going to hit the find button now.
Okay. The tournament actually has been deployed now. So those of you who have tickets, just before, you will now have finals tickets in your accounts. And we're madly refreshing here, waiting for Lorray. You're very, very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Really impressive result. A little bit curious why you didn't play that last game, by the way. Can we ask you why didn't you play that last game? Was there a reason?
Here we go.
Oh, the final is up. Let's go.
Oh, this is it. What is it called?
No, that's the wrong one.
This is the wrong one.
we just got owned by Adestor joining a free roll. Sorry, guys. We thought the final was up.
Here we go. This is the grand final, guys. Let's get it in. Let's get it going. Guys, don't do anything yet. He says good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck, guys. Sorry, as I was saying, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone who took part.
Thank you for watching.
And thank you, well, of course, thank
all
you
the people who stayed around.
And yeah, good luck, you guys. This is it. This is one game. For those of you that just joined the stream, these guys are playing for $3,000 US. They are all guaranteed 1,000. And this is it. We're playing one game to decide our champion, our first ever Power Up champion.
The reason why Lorray didn't finish, he thought he got till Saturday, didn't realize it. Clearly was on OP Poker, saw the reminder from Ava, and mad rush, so he ran out of time. Yep. That explains it. Yep. That makes sense.
But there you go, guys.
All right, we've got our first hand of the championship finals. They're playing for a grand total of $3,000 to the winner. Each player guaranteed $1,000 and $2,000 more for the winner. So yes, this is a big game. $5,000 value. Dog for Jay Carver. Absolutely correct.
$5,000 Power Up spin and go. Pretty much. Yeah. But this time no variance. It's all there. It's all on the table. It's ready to go.
And Adestor trying to take first blood.
Oh, Adestor putting in a bluff here. The ace. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. The house call there on the river from Hated.
Yeah. bottom full, manages to find the call. And
I mean, I'm wondering now whether or not Adestor and Hated have a lot more history, because I think Victor tends to play higher stakes as well.
Well, yeah, you would think so, right?
Yeah.
Then they would have probably. I wonder if they would have met. We'll have to go back and take a look and see if they met during the.
Good point.
During the qualification period.
Yep, there you go, guys. So you can you should be able to hear sound coming from the table now as well.
There's Syphon being cloned.
There you go. That was one of the uses we were talking about earlier, guys. The play of Syphon and now its ability to be cloned because it's so much cheaper is definitely going to come into play, and that will mean that you guys can cycle clone a lot more effectively, which is another.
Yeah, I mean, playing clone on Syphon seems like it's just going to become a pretty much a de rigueur play, right?
Yeah. I mean, if not Syphon, clone Syphon.
So the early lead from Hated here. He's jumped out, winning well all the pots until that one. That's the first takedown by somebody other than Hated.
Yeah, playing in that small blind position as well is always so hard. Small blinds are so hard to play in Power Up, even more so than in. I mean, playing out of position tends to be difficult as well generally. But playing out of position, small blind versus big blind in Power Up is definitely a really tricky spot to get right. I see a lot of people making mistakes in that spot.
So there's a photo from Neil.
My man. Yeah.
Neil sent me a photo, and
he knows.
He's realized that as he said, the hard part's done, and so he's cracked open a cold one. Well, deserved.
Neil, Neil, I wish I could share that with you, mate, because you know that's my favorite. You know that's my favorite, my man. I can't believe you're gonna do that to me.
Well, it's we'll have our turns, right?
We will.
We might have a beverage. We might have a beverage or two after this.
I'm gonna have 3 beverages.
Three,
just 3.
I have a feeling I'll just go straight to the airport.
We're gonna be up all night. Is that what you're saying?
Like the last
time.
Oh god, that was the worst flight of my life. The worst flight of my life.
I was ready to sleep all day and then get the ferry back, and you guys busted me up and woke me up.
I didn't keep you out that late, did I?
Well, not like no.
I don't think it was that.
I think I kept myself.
Okay, we have a Syphon being played. Look at that change in energy right now.
Right. And I mean,
love that.
This is a perfect example. Being out of position and knowing that you can play power before your opponent is something that was a given.
Yes.
And now in this, all of a sudden, Victor has just snatched the ability to do almost every combo straight from his hands right there.
And look, and
straight back.
I love it. What did I predict?
Yep.
The Syphon back.
Syphon back.
The Syphon back. The clone Syphon back. What a great play. And these are some really expert players. You can see that balancing, making sure they're balancing the energy and powers. And by the way, Adestor really has a huge energy and power advantage here, right?
Yeah.
13 energy, 3 powers versus 7 and 1. Of course, now the +2 and the extra powers come back into play, but still.
I mean, this was a question that a lot of people asked really early on, and I feel like it's pretty conclusive now. Would you rather have fewer chips and more energy, or more chips and fewer energy and fewer energy? More chips and fewer energy, or fewer energy and more chips? And of course, the answer is you'd rather have more energy and more ability to make combinations, because coming back from or having a lot of chips means nothing if you can't play them effectively, and you can't protect your hands, and you can't augment the outcome of flops, turns, and rivers.
So just to remind people, after this game is over, give us a few minutes. What we'll do is we're gonna bring the client lobby back up, because that will show you exactly when the new power. You'll see the old tournaments go down, the new tournaments come back up. So as soon as this match is over, we will bring up the lobby, and you'll see it, and you'll know that's when Syphon will be in play, and you guys can go play it yourselves. Experience the power.
Experience the power.
Experience the power.
Was experience the power part of the original push? It was, wasn't it?
I think we had something like that.
I'm pretty sure that's how the promotional video finished.
Maybe
you experience the power.
You're probably right.
On PokerStars Power. Yeah.
I like the Murray horsepower in the middle of the snake thing there, whatever that is.
Tentacles.
Hated still really seems to be. He's got an EMP. Is EMP on the button? Right. EMP jam.
And a fold.
And a snap fold.
Hated is really shutting these guys out. He
seems very aggressive.
He seems to have had a lot of just really nice pots. Just pick him up, and in a hyper, just small pots add up so quick. And he's not in a situation where he's underpowered either. So he's managed to get the chips, and he still has 10 points to spend.
Yeah, it's the 13 Victor who probably looks to be in a little bit of trouble right now. But
this could be devastating. I think Hated in this situation is going to have a disintegrate, possibly an EMP as well when he chooses to flat that all in like that. Possibly an engineer EMP in this situation.
Or engineer upgrade maybe, or something. Yeah.
Yep, potentially. With 10 points, that's definitely on the cards.
Sounds like 13 Victor likes one of those cards, maybe? Is that what that...
Well,
hello!
He's taking his time here, so he picks the ace. I'm expecting maybe an EMP or an upgrade here now. He reloads 2. I guess he's just going to shove at this point now.
Well, into 24. It'd be... There's a snap call. Oh, and there's the king.
He said hello and everything. There you go, Victor. Victor gets his double up.
13 Victor gets his double up. Bates, did he bait with the hello, do you think?
I think he knew that he was always getting the chips in with 24 behind, so he knew that hello.
Sebastian is bummed out. Unlucky. Good effort, man.
Yeah.
Really good effort. Really impressive.
I mean, you know, and it's a situation where Hated can afford to make some plays in that spot. It looks like he probably had a really good shot. So if Victor didn't connect with the board that big, he only had 8 energy behind. He didn't have too many options.
And engineer reload is a strong combination.
Definitely.
There's a Syphon. Ooh, that's a Dester taking.
Yeah, and now he can do a lot of aggressive action at this point. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the plays that Victor wants to make there with the limp as well is a limp that involves maybe an EMP, maybe an engineer deploy. So limp calling or something like that is out of the question once you've been decimated like that. You know, as soon as you don't have the combination, it's so hard to enter into pots. And all of our common knowledge so far has led us to the point where we're like, yeah, you wait for your combo.
Well, that's why that's really where we wanted to kind of shake it up. I will say that this actually was a discussion we had way early on, and we talked about esports earlier. We were talking to some of the esports guys at Twitch, and that was actually one of their suggestions. They said, when you guys do an event, try to throw a big wrinkle in at the very end.
I think this
is what other esports do.
Yeah, I think this has been
to keep all the players on their toes. Yeah. And so we always kind of had that in the back of our mind. There was some debate about, do we wait only till the final? Do we do it before the semifinal? Do we just use this as a platform to introduce it? And I think we made the right choice.
Yeah, definitely. I think this was a great way to release the card. I feel like I'd love to hear what the players have to say as well.
Yeah, I definitely want the feedback, guys. Remember, join the OP Poker Discord. Our lovely statistician can put up the link to the OP Poker Discord, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And if you join the OP Poker Discord, there will be a feedback channel. But even now, go ahead and join. Please give us feedback. Yeah. I read it. Yeah. Neil reads it. Marcos reads it. We participate on there.
Yeah, I mean, and additionally to that
it's raining siphons.
It's raining siphons. Additionally to that is literally one of the most fantastic poker communities I've ever been a part of. I don't say that because it's my project. It really is an awesome, non-toxic, brilliant place to speak to people who are actually well informed about how to improve your poker for lots of new formats.
It's not just about Power Up.
That's right. It's not just about Power Up. We're also playing a lot of the new games that PokerStars are releasing. In fact, all of them. And we are also.
Glory Man asks, is it fair?
Is what fair
to release a new power right before?
I think it's absolutely fair. Everyone's at the same disadvantage.
Sure.
And I think that if there was ever a time to challenge players to try something new and put them out of their comfort zone, I feel like the championship is the perfect place to do that.
But you know, if you don't think it's fair, join the Discord. Let us know.
There you go. Yep.
Especially want to hear from the players that participated. Really, really want to hear from them.
There you go. This is a really nice comment from Lorray, and I know he means this. OP Poker made me a semi-finalist. I used to just be a non-power up playing chump, and then I found OP. That's right.
I think that's got to go on the wall, isn't it?
I think so. I think we've
got to disintegrate.
I think you're going to say that.
We've got Adester's down to 700 chips now, with 900 in the pot, and disintegrate played. It's very interesting. Where Hated somehow with the chip advantage, the power advantage. Tied for the most energy.
In fact, apart from Nick, there is no one toxic. That's right. I am the exact level of toxicity that we require in our channel to keep it edgy.
Well, we hear you, Glory Man, and certainly again we would take that on board, but also want to hear from the players themselves.
Yep. I mean, but you know,
you want to add a little bit of drama into.
Yeah, remember. I mean, but also the players that put in the work to learn the existing strategies, that hasn't gone away. You know, it's not like we changed the strategies. We just added in something that everyone has to adapt to. So I would agree if we swapped out an existing power for this power, that would be pretty weird, especially if that was a power that you relied really heavily on in your own personal game. But in this situation, all the strategies remain the same. Everyone still has the same information, but. I really do appreciate your feedback, and I appreciate you delivering it in a friendly manner. And without your feedback, we can't get better. So thank you for sharing.
No, this is a meme.
Well, I have to say that I just used to be a director of Poker Product, and then I found OP Poker, and now I feel like I'm a better person.
I mean, the funniest part about that meme is it sounds exactly like the Skyrim. I used to be a warrior, then I took an arrow to the knee. You know, like I used to be a non-playing Power Up Champion.
Ooh, 2-pair against top pair, and the 2-pair holds.
All right,
we have our first elimination.
All right, Victor, congratulations on your $1,000 takedown.
$1,000 with 13 Victor. Universally, I think acknowledged as being a very tough opponent. The top of the Masters leaderboard. Wow. Really, really massive accomplishment.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Victor, I love you, bro. Thank you so much for taking part, and I'm so happy that you managed to make it onto this final. Commiserations not taking the gold, but I'm so happy it was you, dude. Honestly, it was a really fantastic performance from everyone involved today, but in particular you. I think you played excellently all the way throughout, and you've been a strong contender since the very start of Power Up as well.
So we got a Dester as a significant power, chip, and energy.
Oh, this could be it.
This could be it.
He's got a Dester has a less than one.
Less than a pot size bet.
Yeah, less than a pot size bet. EMP.
EMP. We know what that means. EMP jam. Hated.
He makes the call.
Makes the call. King
he
8.
Has the best hands.
Jack deuce.
And
that's going to do it.
And that's all she wrote.
Wow.
Hated. That's it, Adestor. Also,
wow.
Congratulations on taking your $1,000 down. But that means our grand finalist winner is Hated.
Congratulations.
I'm not sure he is. And if you are watching this right now, Hated, let it be known if you are on the Discord. If you are not on the Discord, congratulations.
Let's bring up the lobby,
okay,
if we can.
Yep.
As the team on a Saturday night, giving up their Saturday night. You go to the Power Up
don't
lobby.
Show that.
The lobby.
Classic me.
There you go. All right. There's our Power Up lobby, and you'll see. You should see these. There we go. You see them disappearing? That was the free roll disappearing, which was the one that the players were playing in. And we should see this shortly. We'll take it just a few minutes, but once we see the lobby change, Syphon will be available in all of the Power Up games.
Globally.
Show me the money, chat 2, confirm bad. You can see that. Oh, look at the beautiful background, isn't it? It's very pretty. Very, very pretty. Really love the design work that went into the game is something we're very, very proud of.
Yeah, I think so too.
So you'll
Seb says, what now? Consolation $30 stakes?
My Moon Cactus, me and Jay are very sorry for not stopping Hated earlier. He was too powerful, and we were just chumps before we found out. By the way, My Moon Cactus had Hated twice on the ropes.
Yeah.
And he won both of those games.
Yeah.
You have to say that was a game changer, right?
Yep. Thank you for the follow. Okay, guys. So the games have returned. I think that means...
Yes, the games have returned. That should mean that Syphon
it is
now part of the official meta. Guys, go ahead. You can fire it up, and tell us again. Play some games. Let us know about Syphon. As I mentioned before, let us know what you think about the costing.
Yep.
Let us know what you think about the metagame. James is asking people to join the 15s. Come and get him. He says he's been hitting the tequila hard. So it's probably the biggest advantage you're ever going to get against James. Is not necessarily known for the drinking prowess. I don't think
for the boozing.
But really, please do let us know. Let us know what you thought about the championship, what you thought about the broadcast, what you think about my shirt,
what you think. Should Nick leave OP Poker because he's too toxic? All that stuff. It's really, really important.
But please join the OP Poker Discord. Wow, this was fun.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
Well, I mean, I have to say thank you to you as well for joining us. I mean,
no, thank you for having me.
He flies all the way out from the Isle of Man to join us for this. All the way.
Across. I flew across water.
Across water.
Across the Irish Sea to get here. Art is on. James is playing. Should we sweat this game? Should we sweat this game a little bit?
I tell you what. And we can also. This will be good because we can also test whether or not the changes.
Yes, we can see if. And the news is trolling as usual.
Here we go. We got. Oh, don't close PokerStars, Nick.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. Let's try that again. I'm surprised it didn't. Oh, it's because I wasn't actually in a game.
I feel like does this look like Cherry that I'm sitting in? Is it like a little bit like Cherry from Pee-wee's Playhouse?
I don't know the reference.
You don't know. You never saw Pee-wee's Playhouse?
No.
Oh wow. Okay, I am old.
I think I might have seen the reboot, but poker. I'm trying to get used to my new password.
Remo wants to know if he can get my shirt as a consolation prize for stupid law regulations. Sadly, no. I can tell you who makes it if you want afterwards. It's probably still findable. It was not cheap. I'll say that. It's one of my more expensive shirts. Who's the winner? Hated was the winner.
Hated was the winner. Congratulations to Hated. Hated once again. $3,000 US. That is not. That's like it's a lot of buy-ins.
And looks like James. You have to put.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
So it was I Love Your Mom. Art and James were just playing at a 15, and hello, James woke up with aces versus I Love Your Mom's queens.
Hello, he says.
And now we've got Art, and we can hopefully find out. We'll see if somebody plays. But this is the new meta. We've got 11 powers. Do let us know what you think. Let us know if you think 11 powers is right. We should make powers with bigger buy-ins. If we have demand, we will make powers with bigger buy-in. Marcos is opening the beer. We know Neil's already Neil, aka Jack Black Bauer, true to his Irish heritage, is opening the beer.
Well, I mean, after we sweat this, I guess we'll sign off and we'll have a beer ourselves. What do you think?
I think at least a beer.
I mean, it's also fight night as well, guys. For those of you
did mention that.
My main man Chris Eubank, who we occasionally play from time to time at our local casino, is going to be fighting something DeGaulle, James DeGaulle. I'm not sure what his last name is. I'm not much of a fight man.
I'm not gonna. I'm a thing, not a fighter. That's saying. But it has to be so. Tony, why do you think it has to be 12 power? Why does it have to be an even number? You said a rounded number, but I'm assuming you meant even number. My lovely habit of correcting people. I tend to do that. So yes, it's. I'm curious why you think, or are you just trolling me? That's very, very, very legit, by the way, to troll me. I get trolled all the time at work.
Tony says, by the way, I think it has to be rounded a round number, so it should be 12 powers total. All right, guys, we're announcing another power. We're releasing one right now, just on Tony. What do we got? What do we got in the bag?
Oh, let me look. Where did I put that extra power? No, I left it on the Isle of Man.
I thought you were gonna flip him off. That would have been. Oh, where did I put it? Just give him.
No, I'm not gonna do. Dude, I love my job. I love my job. Come on.
Hey, this is OP Poker. This is
Zombie. I'm not bringing. No, Zombie's not happening. The shirt is. You know what? This is a power in and of itself.
Didn't you guys do a zombie promotion recently? The zombie related
They did Zumbi. They called it Zumbi, which I thought was a little bit too close to Zumba.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not in the promotions department. Unfold is not a power.
I knew that's right. Yeah.
Unfold is not a power.
Jack Black Bauer cleared that up.
We still haven't seen a Syphon yet, have we? I don't believe.
No, I mean a couple of people in chat have said that they have played it, but I think we might have had one that we missed. But we should probably pay attention for a second.
Well, I think we're. So we are getting ready to wind down. As soon as we see a Syphon fire, hopefully.
Yep. Uninstall is not a power.
Neither is Alt F4. That is also not a power. Don't try that at home.
And that is why Power Up doesn't have chat bars.
James siphoned already. Thank you, Avagable.
Thank you, Abe. Thank you, Abby. 5 minutes ago. Okay, sorry. Sorry, it was 5 minutes ago.
You know, this is a hard job.
I know. Hey,
like, how do you do this, man?
Dude,
you do this for a lot. You do this
5
hours.
5 hours at a time.
And you're playing at the same time.
Yeah, right.
Man.
And this is on James's setup. It went notoriously well for that.
Well, you know, and we had the support of the amazing,
we did.
fabulous
It's true.
Eva.
It's true.
Ava, I'm going to keep saying it until I get it right. Ava, the statistician, which I think should be her new undertitle.
I have a lot of hats.
You do. Well, I have a lot of hats as well, but your hats are probably more flowery than mine, I'm imagining. Oh. Double disintegrate here. That's very interesting. You don't see that too often. And an upgrade. What is just powers flying off the table.
Looks like James gonna take it. Hey, James taking it off Art. Last gambit. Take that.
How did that happen?
How did that happen? All right, guys.
Art's gonna have to change his name now since you're no longer Lost Gambit. Last Gambit.
Last Gambit. Yeah. Okay. So Art, if you are watching the stream here today, I know you are. In fact, yeah, you need to make something that's making fun of OP Poker Nick, I suppose. Here he is. Here he is.
Congratulations.
And
not
like
$1,000. But does that mean, so you won that $42? Mm-hmm. Are you going to give that back to the community then? No. You said if you won money today.
No,
I heard he said, if I win money today, I'm going to give it back to the community. That was the statement.
When we head to the casino later as well, you're going to have to live stream that so we know exactly how much you won so you can share that too.
I'll wait till midnight.
All right, guys. So I guess that means we're going to wrap up. Thank you very much, Strike, for joining us. This was really fun. I think it went amazing.
I had so much fun. I hope we can do this again sometime.
Yeah, I hope so too.
We can do the championships again sometime. Let's get up. Let's get James in. Let's get Ava in. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Before we clock off, though, guys, remember, make sure to check out our Discord channel to join a fantastic poker community and also the official Power community as well. And also make sure you check out our social media too, because we are always making new stuff. And in 2019, we are expanding our repertoire into new and exciting formats, as well as some old favorites as well. I know you guys are loving the spin content, and we're making a lot more spin stuff, right, James?
Always.
Yeah.
So much spin stuff.
Come claim your title, Hated, if you're in the chat.
Yeah. Yes, Hated. Come also, join us on the Discord.
Yeah, exactly. It feels weird that we don't know you, because we know everybody in
the
game.
And you are the Power Up Champion.
Power Up Champion.
So come on, come join us.
Strag will send your crown shortly.
For sure.
Unconfirmed. For sure. But that's going to be all for now, guys. We love you very much. We will see you next time. Ciao for now.
Bye.
Bye.